Yes, this was not an exoneration. To say that he was exonerated by us or anyone else is not true.
So you believe he did fill out or complete a false police report?
Yes.
And to the question about Smollett continuing to stick to his claim that he's completely innocent, Magat said this.
You know that he was before cameras saying that he didn't do this?
Sure. I mean, I'm surprised that anybody's surprised by that, in that if he did not do these things, I mean, he certainly forfeited his bond. He did community service. I'm sure that's his view that he did not do it, but the evidence says otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, he's a sociopath. He really, because Abel and Ola, the two brothers who he paid to buy those items to stage the hateful hate crime attack, are sticking by their story because they know what Jussie Smollett did.
Well,
he's a scumbag, and he is a detriment to our society, and he better move out of Chicago right now.
Okay.
Well, he should.
How about back on the law enforcement side where the decisions were made? Magat's saying nobody should be surprised Smollett's continuing to lie, protest his innocence. No, I'm not surprised by that. Here's what I'm surprised by, Counselor. Why no elocution? As part of this alternative disposition, this alternative sentencing, where he forfeits his bond and he performs community service at Operation Push.
Well, by the way, I called up. We'll talk about that later. What he really did was community service.
I'm sure it's community changing. Why no allocution? Why not, as part of walking away from 16 felony counts, Mr. Smollett, you will allocute to the hoax that you perpetrated? Because Magatz makes it clear in that sit-down that nothing is new, nothing has changed in the case. They stand by the Chicago police investigation. There was no evidence or no suggestion that there's any prosecutorial misconduct. So if you have him dead to rights, the product of an investigation you stand by, then why, obviously, let him walk away with the slap on the hands that he got with no criminal record associated with it. But why not make it clear to everyone and make Smollett own it?
Yep.
And allocute in open court so that everybody in Chicago knows that he committed this hoax. It is over. There is no dispute because Smollett has admitted it. And then we move on and we can argue whether or not they should have gone to trial and he should have received some sort of sentence upon conviction.
What happened yesterday, to me, seemed like a backdoor deal between Jussie Smollett's people, the judge, and the prosecutor. I mean, it was
a front door deal.
Well, the case is sealed, too, so no one could go down to the courthouse and see the information that the 12 detectives gathered over the week.
That's another...
And that's really a sticky point.
That's another issue, too, on sealing the case.
Where are we living?
Magat's saying this about sealing the case. Notice the words he uses interchangeably. Okay. Mandate and allowed. Those are not synonyms in the law. Mandated or allowed.
I called an alternative disposition in that he agreed to do community service. He agreed to forfeit his bail to the remainder of his bond to the city of Chicago. And in return for him doing those things, we agreed to dismiss the indictment.
Why is it under seal?
Pursuant to the statute, certain offenses, when they are classes of felonies and crimes, when they are dismissed, the statute allows for them to be sealed.
And then later, asked again.
It is the law. I mean, to sit here and say that we would be in a position to object to something that the law allows or the law mandates would be disingenuous. So, I mean, it's what the law provides.
The law allows, the law provides, the law mandates. Allows meaning there's discretion. Mandates meaning there's no discretion. And in point of fact, there's judicial discretion here. And he was asked in that second statement there, asked, who moved to seal the case? Was it you or was it Smollett's attorneys? And he wasn't in court, so he didn't know, or he claimed he didn't know. I don't know how you don't know that.
How do you not know? You're in charge.
I don't know. I don't know how you don't know.
Who's manning the store over there?
And why you would move and to have the case. I know why Smollett would move to have the case sealed immediately.
He got exactly what he wanted.
Why the Cook County State's Attorney would either move to do it. We don't know, apparently.
Because he's a gay black actor. That's why he got preferential treatment. And it just sends a message to African Americans. You can do whatever the hell you want. Go ahead. This summer's going to be great, Dan.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm on board with that theory. But with respect to the Cook County State's Attorney, why wouldn't you object? Why would you allow that case to be sealed so quickly? And why would you not argue before the judge?
I know.
Why would you not make that part of the alternative disposition of the case?
312-642-5600. Taking your calls all morning long on this.
And here's one other consideration, a legal consideration. That has nothing really specifically to do with race, although this is in here, and celebrity, although this is in here. What if the play by Smollett's attorneys, smart as they are, was to call Kim Foxx as a witness?
Oh.
She recused herself because she had
text message.
ex parte communication with Michelle Obama's former chief of staff.
Via email, and then the family member through text messages.
Put her in touch with a Smollett family member. Kim Foxx communicated that she had asked Eddie Johnson to turn this case over to the feds, that Eddie Johnson had said he would turn the case over to the feds. By the way, Chicago police dispute that. We'll talk to Kevin Graham at the bottom of the 6 o'clock hour, FOP president. But that's what happened, and it was going to happen. And then a few days before the case turned in the public's mind.
Yeah, it's before he became a suspect.
Before it turned in the public's mind, she recuses herself. Here's the problem with her recusal and the explanation for it, saying, well, this was when he was still seen as a victim. Yes, except, as you know, State's Attorney Foxx, because anybody who has any connections with the police knows, and certainly that would include you, no one in the Chicago Police Department believed Smollett's story from the get-go. No one.
Because it was ridiculous.
Jordan in Forest Park.
Yeah, good morning. I think part of this was on March 19th, the Chicago police asked for a federal investigation of Fox's office. And so isn't it curious that it didn't take too many days later, probably for them to come up with a deal so that none of this stuff would be disclosed. Also, Rainbow Push did not consider his service there as community service. They were asked about that, and they said, no, we don't know anything about community service. So they kept it secret from them as well. So I don't know. I just think that Fox didn't get what she wanted. And then, okay, well, how can we squash the whole thing? And they came up with this. And it was probably shortly after March 19th. That's my opinion.
They said they dropped this, too, because, again, he's a nonviolent crime, no felonies. He was treated like anybody else who would have been charged with 16 disorderly conduct charges. I mean, that to me says a grand jury's, indictment means nothing in Cook County.
Yeah, low-level felonies. We concentrate our resources on violent crime. That's what...
It's clogging the court system.
That's what Joseph Maggette said, the attorney in charge of the case for the state attorney's office. He also said this decision was made by him and him alone with no consultation with Fox. On the issue of resources and violent crime, FOP raised this specter. What about that murder of off-duty Chicago cop John Rivera?
Yeah, nobody talked, yeah.
The man in custody was busted earlier in an armed home invasion case that he plea bargained down to attempted burglary and a sentence of probation. According to saying the FOP saying had the man in question not been granted such a ridiculously lenient deal, he would likely still have been in prison and not free to murder Officer Rivera. Is that a violent crime, armed robbery? Why the resources weren't devoted to prosecute that individual and send him to prison rather than release him with a sentence of probation?
We have to vote Kim Foxx out of office. Have to.
Yeah.
I don't care who runs against her. I'm voting for that person.
Yeah. Well, you should care who runs against her because we've done this before. In 2008, when Anita Alvarez ran, there was a professional career prosecutor named Bob Milan who ran.
That's right. I remember.
No, nobody paid attention to him.
We had him on the show.
I don't know. I wasn't here in 2008. Okay. But nobody paid attention to him. And he didn't have any political capital, which means he didn't have any capital to run a campaign to generate the kind of awareness needed for consideration. And so you get Anita Alvarez for 2 terms. Then she's thrown under the bus by Rahm Emanuel. So you get Kim Fox, who's now been thrown under the bus by Rahm Emanuel, and the beat goes on.
Well, and it was Tony Preckwinkle's chief of staff, Kim Fox, and Tony Preckwinkle handpicked her for that position.
Although I haven't heard from Lori Lightfoot on this topic either.
We have they discussed it last night. Lori Lightfoot. Well, here's Lori.
There's so much we don't know. I would urge the state's attorney's office to give a fulsome discussion as to why they suddenly dropped these charges.
And we had Lori Lightfoot on after he was, the tables turned and he went from victim to suspect, and she still wouldn't throw him under the bus. She still said, I'm waiting for more information. I'm like, oh, my God, please, are you kidding me? What more information do you need?
Distinction without a difference. Andrew Kloster used to be with Heritage Foundation. He had a good point. He's an attorney. So Jesse Smollett charged on February 20th when you were in the throes of a mayoral primary, and pandering to the police was au courant. Now that we're at the end of the mayoral election, and it's already been decided that it's going to be Lightfoot, well, nobody has to pander to the police anymore. It's another theory, the timing. Edward at Midway.
Yeah, good morning, Dan and Amy. There's still the issue about mail fraud.
Yes.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Obamas or somebody like George Soros was behind this.
Thanks for the call, Edward. Well, George Soros was behind Kim Fox. He donated $400,000 to a super PAC that supported her candidacy for Cook County State's Attorney. So that's an interesting data point. With respect to the feds, you still have that open FBI investigation into the letter, the hate letter that was sent to Smollett that a lot of people suspect was him sending it to himself.
Police told me yesterday he sent it to himself, that the brothers did not have to do anything to do with it.
I believe that. I believe that's certainly possible. And so you do have, that's a federal issue and a U.S. Postal Service issue. So he still does have some federal exposure that hardly exculpates Kim Fox.
But who in the FBI is going to have the balls to come up and charge him with that after all of this?
Well, why not?
I think that they should.
Frank in St. Charles.
I think this decision came directly from Kim Fox, but send a white guy out there to do the announcement. That's what I think of it.
Oh.
Thanks for the call, Frank. Jim in Crown Point, although he is the first assistant state's attorney, and the case was turned over to him when she recused herself. Jim in Crown Point.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's found innocent, because now him and OJ can team up and help each other solve these crimes that they're accused of. Another thing, I can take the cold. I don't wear a hat or gloves until it gets like 5 degrees above zero. I noticed that Jesse Smollett yesterday was wearing gloves at his arraignment.
It was kind of cold.
And if that night it was 0 degrees, he would have been fully clothed. There's no way anybody would have recognized him.
Thanks for the call, Jim. It could be a style point, too.
He's
just
so
wearing gloves.
famous. I need to dress up and be dapper.
You know what's interesting? You know what the difference, it turns out, between Kim Fox and Jesse Smollett is?
What?
Smollett has performed a community service.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
My name is David Hochberg at Team Hochberg. If you're looking to refinance, please call Team Hochberg. Mike, self-employed, lives in a $1 million home in Glenview, called to refinance and combined his $500,000 expiring adjustable rate mortgage and $100,000 HELOC. Mike planned on moving when his daughter graduates high school in 5 years, so to help Mike afford his constantly increasing and ridiculously expensive real estate taxes, I recommended an interest-only loan. Mike was hesitant at first, but after I explained his monthly payment would decrease over $1,100 a month, he told us to immediately get the ball rolling. If you're interested in lowering your monthly mortgage payment, like Mike, call the local mortgage experts right now on Team Hochberg at 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-56-DAVID. That's 855-56-DAVID or visit 56david.com.
Homeside Financial Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, MB 66761019, NMLS 1124061.
Hey, it's March, and that means allergy season. And our friends at Balance of Nature have an incredible Madness in March discount that you're going to want to take advantage of. And I'll tell you about that in just a second. But first, I have to tell you about Balance of Nature. Think of it this way, 10 servings of fruits and veggies in a single capsule. There's no dyes or preservatives, And we all know how important getting our daily dose of fruits and veggies is. And that's where Balance of Nature comes in. If you start feeling sick, then you should start taking Balance of Nature. It helps boost your immune system, just like I'm doing. And get Balance of Nature today. I've spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard and his wife and son. They're very passionate about their product. They care about their customers. They showed me the emails, played the voicemails that they receive from real people who are taking Balance of Nature and feeling better and living healthier lives. And that can be you. And today only, when you go to balanceofnature.com, ready for this one? Use promo code AmyJ6. That actually used to be my vanity plate on my scooter. AmyJ6, A-M-Y-J, the number 6. I'll bring it in tomorrow, Dan, for you. It's all one word, and you will receive 16% off your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. It's the Sweet 16 special. Use promo code AmyJ6, all one word, when you visit balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751.
AM 560, The Answer.
It's almost scooter weather. We're getting there today.
I can't wait. Are you going to golf today?
I can't, unfortunately. That's a sad story. All right, we're going to take more of your calls. And also, we've got our entire Morning Answer team on R. Kelly watch this morning, waiting for the announcement that the charges against him have been dropped. So we'll keep you updated on that at 5:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Perry Williams is in for Mike Scott. Good morning, Perry.
Good morning. Clear skies. It's 33 degrees in Chicago at 5:30, 31 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. An Illinois lawmaker is planning to file legislation that would ban any production that employs actor Jussie Smollett from receiving a state film credit. State Representative Michael McAuliffe made the pledge hours after Cook County prosecutors dropped charges yesterday against Smollett, who had been accused of staging a hate crime attack against himself in Chicago in January. The Republican says he's filing the bill because of the number of hours police put in investigating the Smollett case. McAuliffe plans to file the legislation this week. In other news, a Chicago family is accusing Chicago police of raiding the wrong home during a 4-year-old's birthday party last month. The boy's mother says her children have been devastated by the raid.
To worry about her or her brother getting shot by someone that's supposed to protect and serve them, it's terrifying.
A civil rights lawsuit filed yesterday claims officers pointed guns at the boy and his family and friends while executing a search warrant on the South Side. In sports news, Norman Powell scored 20 points off the bench to lead the Raptors to a 112-103 win against the Bulls in Toronto. Wayne Selden led the Bulls with 20 points, and Shaquille Harrison added 15. Bulls head coach Jim Boylan says they had missed many shot opportunities.
We miss a layup, they make an open three, or they make a defended 3, 5-point swing, and I felt like those were the differences in the game.
The Bulls dropped to 21-54. They host the Trailblazers tonight. The Cubs concluded the exhibition season with a 16-7 victory against the Red Sox in Mesa. Whiten Bernard belted a home run and drove in 3 runs for the Northsiders. The Cubs open the 2019 season tomorrow in Texas against the Rangers. AM 560 news time is 5:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
On April 5th, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get in my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters April 5th.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's incomestore.com.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
At 5:36 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
We're seeing mild delays now on some of the inbound expressways. The Stevenson is a bit tight. The area between Pulaski and Kedzie. 35 minutes is the travel time from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 5 to 34. Inbound Rhine, got about a 2-minute delay from 18th into the Burn Circle. Outbound, there is road work from 87th, the split, the 2 right lanes, and the on-ramp from 87th, again, is closed this morning until 6. I-57's clear. Inbound Bishop Ford Freeway, it's a 2-minute delay, Cottage Grove to the merge. Lakeshore Drive is fine. No delays to report on the Eden. Kennedy's fine. Express lanes have open inbound. Eisenhower's still okay. No delays to report on the tollways at this time. There is still some morning road work and no backups. It's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Some sun to start, then increasing cloudiness. Breezy today, high 58. Cloudy, breezy, mild, a brief shower tonight, low 46. Cloudy tomorrow, a brief shower or two, and a high tomorrow at 59. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 6 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, real quick, Turning Point USA's Midwest Regional Conference will be held this weekend, March 29th through the 30th in Chicago, featuring Vice President Mike Pence. Hear from Mike Pence, Charlie Kirk, Mike Lindell, and many great conservative leaders. This can't-miss conference is a great opportunity to develop your leadership skills, enhance your activism techniques, and receive training from TPUSA leaders. Get your tickets today and learn all the details at tpusa.com.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and I know some of you may have had your confidence in the Cook County justice system shaken. I want to address that by turning the floor over to Joseph McGatz, who is the first Cook County State's first state's attorney for Cook County. He was given control of the case after State's Attorney Kim Foxx recused herself. And he has a message for those who are concerned about the justice system, may have had their faith shaken.
We are transparent. We consider all the facts and circumstances in the case before we make a decision. And we try to be completely transparent as to what we do and why we do it.
I rest my case.
Transparent. That's why the case is sealed. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of transparency going on.
That's good enough for me.
Shame on them. And shame on, listen to the Empire writers just tweeted out, see y'all Wednesday, because they're coming back. They're shooting again on Wednesday. And Jussie Smollett's character is, he was written out of the last 2 shows, but now he's coming back because they didn't kill off his character. So he got exactly what he wanted, the publicity that he wanted.
Did they indicate if Kim Foxx is going to be written into the next episode, or are they going to wait till next season? I
mean, might as well. She's a star chaser. She went to their cast parties, I found out. And then we have the email, the text messages that Jesse's relative, little sister talk, like, hey, how are you? Hey, can you call me when you get a chance? I have a quick question for you. Sure, I'm in a conference. I'll call you when I get out. Like the sister love here.
Isn't it great
Old
to
jive.
have a Cook County State's Attorney who's got such powerful Hollywood connections, both here in Chicago as well as in L.A., where Kim Foxx was attending all those pre-Oscar parties and so forth. I mean, I think it's so great for the city.
It really.
Because it gives the city such profile. It makes it an international city. That's what I understand. And I just take whatever the powers that be that we have elected into these important offices, whatever they tell me, I mean, I just accept at face value because I know that's what Chicago families do, at least the majority of them, and I just want to be part of the in crowd.
How strange is it, too, though, that she didn't let Superintendent Johnson or Mayor Emanuel know what was happening? It was so sneaky.
Well, she can't.
They found out through the media.
She can't because she's recused herself.
Oh, okay. But somebody from her office could have, yeah.
Look, everybody likes a surprise. Except Eddie Johnson.
Do I think justice was served? No. Where do I think justice is? I think this city is still owed an apology. And let me digress for a moment. When I came on this job, I've been a cop now for about 31 years. When I came on this job, I came on with my honor, my integrity, and my reputation. If someone accused me of doing anything that would circumvent that, then I would want my day in court, period, to clear my name. I've heard that they wanted their day in court with TV cameras so America could know the truth, but no, they chose to hide behind secrecy and broker a deal to circumvent the judicial system. My job as a police officer is to investigate an incident, gather evidence, gather the facts, and present them to the state's attorney. That's what we did. I stand behind the detective's investigation.
And every cop I talked to said this is a kick in the gut. They're furious. They're pissed off. I mean, really. And Charles Ramsey, I know we'll hear from him later, but he's he should have been our police superintendent, moved on to be the superintendent in Washington, D.C. He laid it out plain and simple.
This case stinks, and somebody needs to take a look at it. Everybody wants to talk about police reform, accountability, transparency. You need to look at some of these prosecutors' offices as well. I mean, something is not right with this. And if there was new evidence that came forward, I guarantee you, Eddie and the mayor would not have been as forceful as they were in their press conference. And not only that, why would you seal it? Let it out there. Let us know what it is that's changed. Nothing has changed other than the fact that this guy got to a judge, got to the state's attorney's office somehow, and they worked out some kind of backdoor deal that threw the mayor and the police department under the bus, period.
You don't have to do backdoor deals in Chicago. You can do them right through the front door. Although, again, Tiny Dancer channeling the angst in the police department and the public as well.
This is a whitewash of justice. As I remember correctly, somebody wanted to have that evidence in the day, as the superintendent said, their day in court, so all the evidence could be made public. Because of the judge's decision, none of that evidence will ever be made public. None of it. This is without a doubt a whitewash of justice and sends a clear message that if you're in a position of influence and power, you'll get treated one way, other people will be treated another way. There is no accountability then in the system. It is wrong, full stop.
I mean, I just have to let that wash over me for a moment. If you're in a position of power, if you have status, then there's no accountability. The rules don't apply, says
Tiny
Rahm Emanuel.
I know. It was a little hypocritical there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mr. Smollett is still saying that he is innocent, still running down the Chicago Police Department. How dare him? How dare him?
It's how dare he, by the way. How
Thank
dare
you.
he?
Moral indignation and call for accountability from Tiny Dancer. These are strange times.
I know. Did you ever, I agreed with him 100% yesterday, up until the point where he stopped short of calling out Kim Foxx. Why? Call her out on it. I mean, you have proof. You have the text messages that Jesse's family sent to her, and then you also have the email that Michelle Obama's former aide sent to her.
Former chief of staff.
Former chief of staff.
He did indict the whole the whole thing, though, from the with respect to the Cook County State's Attorney's Office.
It is not on the level from beginning to end, and there needs to be a level of accountability throughout the system, and this sends an unambiguous message that there is no accountability, and that is wrong.
Well, I've got some good news for you. We can't rely on the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. That's unfortunate. But we still have federal postal inspectors.
We do.
And
they mean business. Have you ever met a federal postal inspector?
Thankfully, no.
Well,
here's... they're no.
No, that's a tough group of folks.
The thin blue line of the postal inspector. Here's the thing. When the rule of law in your city, rises or falls on U.S. postal inspectors, there is something fundamentally wrong with the justice system in your locale.
I'm still praying for justice. You go, postal inspectors. Go fight win.
Tony in Downers Grove.
Hey, Dan and Amy. You know, I have to walk down to Wabash and Jackson, and I'm a little worried about all the White Matters protests that are going to be going on this morning.
By the way...
it won't happen, will it?
Be careful. Wabash and Jackson, that's MAGA country. Thanks for the call, Tony. Jack in LaPorte.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
All right, this is how I see it. He's a Hollywood actor. So this guy gets a hold of Ray Donovan's people. Ray Donovan shows up with a backpack full of money at the Kim Fox's office with recordings and some pictures that don't want to get out. He tells her this is how it's going to play. This Moffat guy is going to get up there and he's going to cry and plead innocent, and that's the way it works out.
All right.
That's my stand, and I'm sticking to
it. Is that in the latest season of Ray Donovan? Did we miss
that
episode?
It will be.
All right. Thanks for thanks
somebody
for the call,
texted you, MAGA now means make arrests go away.
What about, speaking of the White Lives Matter joke and whatnot, what about Chicago police walked off the job? What about a Chicago police protest? I mean, I understand. Per the collective bargaining agreement, they can't strike and all that. We're not talking about that. What if they walked off the job? What if you had a police protest?
That'd be, over this, that'd be awesome.
Maybe that's the only thing that can gather enough attention to move the city back in the direction of the rule of law, is to have the police lead it. I honestly, I don't know otherwise.
What about suing him? Mayor Emanuel was on with Wolf Blitzer and was thinking about, you know what, maybe we could sue him for $150,000 because that's what the bill was for all the overtime and the 12 detectives assigned to his case.
Yawn. $150,000.
Then there's a congressman who thought
2 episodes of Empire, big deal.
He makes $105,000, but that's not
all right,
enough.
1.5
episodes.
episodes.
To make more, buddy.
He got a raise since his unfortunate hate crime incident. Suzanne in Mount Prospect.
Hi, my name is Suzanne. I'm from Mount Prospect,
Right.
and I was wondering if Kim Fox's office could be charged with malfeasance, as this is a hate crime. Actually, it seems like against people who wear MAGA hats.
Well, the Department of
Thanks for the
Justice
call,
could open an
Suzanne.
investigation, right? I mean, would they do that over this?
You
though?
could open a corruption investigation of some sort. Sure, the U.S. Attorney's Office could. Department of Justice could greenlight it, possibly. Is there enough here? I don't know. The interplay between Kim Fox and Michelle Obama's former chief of staff certainly raises some questions. Justin in Cedar Lake, Indiana.
Yeah, hey, man, Jesse Smollett's a scumbag. He deserves to rot in jail. If the tables were reversed, and this was a Republican that had staged the hate crime against himself, the liberal media would be up in arms, and the country would be in shambles. And there's nothing on that side of the media stating anything about it right now, and it's just a disgrace to Chicago, it's a disgrace to the justice system, and it's a disgrace to police officers around the country.
Thanks, Justin.
What about
Appreciate
Kwame Raoul, our new Attorney General? Couldn't he investigate?
What about him?
Could he do anything?
He could petition the Supreme Court to set aside the sentence like he did in the Van Dyke trial.
There you go.
Or the Van Dyke, conviction.
This is why we listen to the show.
Yeah.
That's a perfect idea. Let's do it.
You think he's going to do that? The Barack Obama mini-me? You think he's going to do that?
Mini-me, you complete me, mini-me.
Okay. All right, sure. Chuck in Waukegan.
Hi, good morning. This is Laquan McDonald payback. Sweetheart sentence for cop, sweetheart deal for Justy. The Attorney General didn't like sentencing, so appealed and lost. Here, state's attorney, exonerates Justy. Cops versus state.
Okay, thanks for the call, Chuck. Grant in Rockford.
Good morning, Dan. I'm having just flashbacks of the Obama years. Anybody who's associated with these people who's guilty as sin walks. You got Lois Lerner, John Koskinen, Jussie Smollett, Hillary Clinton. It doesn't matter. And Amy, going forward here, like you said earlier, the repercussions are, the message to the country is it's okay to perform an attack on Trump and Trump supporters. Make no mistake, this was an attack on Trump supporters, and they are justifying that.
Yeah, it is okay. Yeah, it was an attack on Trump.
Guys.
Thanks,
I mean,
Grant.
that's why he threw in the MAGA. This is MAGA country. First time he was interviewed by police, left that detail out. But the second time, it was MAGA country. And I found out that the brothers bought the red caps because they couldn't find MAGA hats, so they bought red caps to make it look like they were wearing MAGA caps. And by the way, again, they're sticking by their story.
You know, I know.
And
the state's attorney's office said nothing has changed in the case. Nobody's recanted. No evidence has changed, added or subtracted. Nothing has changed. This was a decision based on everything we know to be true.
And their attorney this morning, Gloria Schmidt, released a statement saying the Osundario brothers are fully prepared, or they were, to testify in any criminal proceedings. But now she's not representing them anymore because she doesn't need to. They're not going to be witnesses in the trial.
I wonder if those brothers know Christian Okoye. Remember him? The Nigerian Nightmare, the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh.
I'm just thinking of like great Nigerian Americans.
Athletes. Now, before I thought, I don't want to hear from them. Now I cannot wait to hear from those two brothers. Because they rehearsed it. Apparently they had a script.
I've sort of given up on the rule of law in Chicago and Illinois, so I'm just musing about other things. Like I wonder if Jussie Smollett will MC the Obamaland opening.
Oh, that's right. Because do you know how many people were taking selfies with him outside the courthouse yesterday that believe
all of
his
them
shtick and are standing by him? What world do we live in? What America?
Hey,
what America has become? I'm sick. I think I died a little inside yesterday.
If Terrence Howard vouches for you, that's good enough for me. Tom in Deer Park.
Yeah, good morning. This thing stinks, all right. I smell something, and I don't smell a rat. To me, it's a little fishy, and I'm just going off of published reports that I've read. This Tina Chen, that was chief of staff for Michelle Obama.
Right.
She's involved in this with Kim Fox. Then there's Valerie Jarrett, and the reports of her, her that she lives with the Obamas. Additionally, from reports I've read, there's texts between Don Lemon and Kim Fox after this thing occurred.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a certain strand or thread here. Now, I'm all for one of people's private lives being private, what they personal being personal. But when you have this miscarriage of justice and everybody's left to be curious as to what the heck's going on, I don't know why this thing was sealed, but it makes sense to me, not doing conspiracy theory. There's something real fishy going on here.
Thanks for the call, Tom.
Jussie Smollett won, guys.
I wonder.
Case sealed. He gets off. He spent 20 hours, by the way, at Rainbow Push, and then 4 hours there on Monday, I found out.
Well, that is punishment.
You know what he was doing? Counseling the youth.
Well,
but the youth is so full of taking selfies and there's no pictures of him there.
I wonder if Valerie Jarrett, since Tom from Deer Park mentioned her living circumstances, I wonder if she's like the Obama's Mr. Belvedere. That's how I see her, sort of like as an English butler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does still live with them. So creepy.
So many questions.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Mike Ditka. On the field, they called me Iron Mike. But some days, even Iron Mike can feel a little rusty. So I turned to Blue Emu. Blue Emu's non-greasy, deep-penetrating formula gets down deep for big-time comfort. And more importantly, it doesn't leave me smelling like a locker room. Now, if you excuse me, I have some yelling to do. You hit like old men. Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink.
A new poll says more Americans approve of President Trump than they do the big media. That's why millions are tuning in to Newsmax TV, America's new conservative channel. On Newsmax TV, see Bill O'Reilly, Pat Buchanan, Alan Dershowitz, Mike Reagan, and more. Bill O'Reilly's No Spin News Show is on Newsmax TV. Get it on DirecTV Channel 349, Xfinity 1115, Dish 216, UVerse 1220, Fios 615, and Spectrum. Newsmax TV. Real news for real people.
Hey, Permaseal here, story after story of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, do you want your living room or bedroom getting wet? No. Then why settle with a wet basement? For over 40 years, the Permaseal team believes your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. And you can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee so you can rest assured that you are getting the best value. You know, Roy Spencer started Permaseal back in 1979, and it's still a local Chicagoland family business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. Your basement is already dry most of the time, but if you want your basement dry all of the time, you know who to call. Permaseal. 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325. Or just go to permaseal.net.
I bet you're looking forward to spring when the weather gets warmer and all the outdoor blah of winter turns to green. It's something we all look forward to in these first months of the new year. With the change of season also comes landscape maintenance. It's just one of those things that's got to be done. And it's got to be done right. Taking care of your properties is important. That's why you should choose AM Woodland Outdoor Design. AM Woodland Outdoor Design makes the outdoors come alive at your commercial, apartment building, or homeowners association. Spring will be here sooner than you think, and the expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design keep your properties looking their best all year long with a convenient maintenance contract. It's quality service with integrity and reliability every time. Contact them now and get your maintenance contract locked in for the new year.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Northern Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com, that's amwoodland.com, or call 847-224-2167.
Spring is in the air, but if you've got school-age kids, you should already be thinking about back-to-school season this fall, and you should consider sending your child to a private school at half the regular cost, thanks to halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find local private schools from all over Chicagoland that are offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price with no catch. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. It's that simple. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located throughout Chicagoland, including Westminster Christian in Elgin, Kingswood Academy in Darien, Calvin Christian in South Holland, Covenant Christian in Aurora, Lake County Baptist in Waukegan, and Faith Evangelical Lutheran in Antioch. Make private school affordable for your family for the first time this year. These vouchers will sell out. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. That's halfpriceschools.com.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. CertaPro Painters. Call 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325. Or visit CertaProPainters.com. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
The
And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
It's not just Democrats who want the full Mueller report released. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump says he does too. He's called it all a hoax and believes the special counsel's conclusion of no Trump campaign Russia conspiracies complete exoneration.
I think what happened is a disgrace. I don't believe our country should allow this ever to happen again. This will never happen again.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland is live in Washington.
Dave, Democrats want the full Mueller report without any redactions by next week. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
I don't need Attorney General Barr's interpretation of the report. I am for the report.
But the Justice Department says it could be weeks before it's ready for public release. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says the report needs to be reviewed first.
Make sure we sanitize the report for classified information and grand jury information.
Senator Graham, who chairs the Judiciary Committee, expects Attorney General William Barr to testify about the report sometime next month. Dave?
Rachel, the president also wants Republicans to be the party of health care. His administration is backing a legal attempt to strike down Obamacare in court. Then he wants a new law.
Democratic leaders, however, are seizing on the issue, too.
The GOP will never stop trying to destroy the affordable health care of America's families.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats are introducing measures to strengthen existing health insurance protections.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. House Democrats did not have enough votes to override President Trump's veto, so they were unable to block his national emergency declaration. There's confusion and anger in Chicago after charges were dropped against Jussie Smollett.
This is an unbelievable, not just whitewash of justice. This is a person now who's been let off scot-free with no sense of accountability of the moral and ethical wrong of his actions.
Mayor Rahm Emanuel, but Smollett keeps insisting he did not stage, as he was accused, the hate crime attack he claims to be the victim of.
I would not bring my family, our lives, or the movement through a fire like this. I just wouldn't.
This is Fox News.
Good morning. Clear skies, and it's 34 degrees in Chicago at 6:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. Officials in Chicago aren't the only ones upset after prosecutors dropped all charges against actor Jussie Smollett. Stephen Colbert aired his complaints last night on The Late Show.
Isn't it a hopeful sign for America that regardless of your race or sexual orientation, all rich, famous people get off easily? I believe.
Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel said yesterday the Empire actor used hate crime laws to advance his career and the whole case was a whitewash. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson said justice was not served and Smollett is hiding behind a brokered deal. Smollett was facing felony charges of lying to police about an alleged racial attack. All records in the case are being sealed. A Chicago man charged with murdering a Wisconsin man at Harrah's Casino Hotel in Joliet over the weekend is being held on $5 million bail. Robert Watson appeared in Will County Court yesterday via video. Prosecutors say Watson robbed Emmanuel Borgrino Sunday night before stabbing him 26 times as he returned to his fifth-floor hotel room. An Illinois meat company is recalling thousands of pounds of beef. The USDA announced yesterday that Aurora Packing Company is recalling nearly 5,000 pounds of beef heel and chuck tender products over E. coli concerns. The products were shipped to Illinois, Iowa, and Wisconsin and were packed on February 27th. In sports news, the White Sox closed out exhibition play with a 7-1 win over the D-backs in Phoenix. The Southsiders smacked 14 hits in the victory. The White Sox open the regular season tomorrow in Kansas City against the Royals. This news report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. Pet parents trust Invisible Fence brand with their pets. Their Consumer Digest awarded Boundary Plus technology is guaranteed to protect your pet from escaping while providing them the freedom they deserve. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. That's InvisibleFence.com. AM 560 News Time is 6:04. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Dennis Prager explains how the left works.
The use of government power
for political ends. That is exactly what the left is about, has always been about. There are no limits to the efforts it will make using government to suppress its foes. There are no limits. The IRS was just a hint of it. This is a very scary thing.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Patriot Software provides cloud-based accounting software that is super easy for business owners and powerful enough for accountants. With Patriot's accounting software, business owners can easily invoice customers, receive payments, pay bills, and track the money in and out of their company without needing a college degree in accounting. And with Patriot Software's patent-pending cash-to-accrual toggle switch, the business's accountant can log in, view the books, and make complex entries to ensure the business has accurate financial statements. Easy but powerful. Everybody wins. Go to PatriotSoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Staples has the supplies you need to run your business like a boss. This week, buy one HP Office Jet Pro ink cartridge and get a second 30% off, so you can stock up and save. Offer ends 3/30/19. Restrictions apply. See store associate or staples.com/HP BOGO for details. Staples.
At 6:07 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
The CTA is reporting delays on the Blue Line right now near Division. Trains are standing due to an unauthorized person on the tracks. Waukegan, there's a crash. Casimir-Pulaski Drive at Waukegan Road. The Edens Expressway is looking good. Kennedy inbound. It's heavy now, Nagle to Foster. 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound still fine at 20. Inbound Eisenhower has delays. First Avenue to Harlem and Demon to Ashland. 33 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 29. Inbound Stevenson. About a 4-minute delay, Central to Pulaski. Inbound Ryan, heavy in the local lanes from 63rd to 51st. The crash now on the right shoulder. 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Quicker in the Express. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte at AM 560 The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A bit of sun for this morning, then increasing cloudiness and breezy today, high 58. Cloudy, breezy, mild, a couple of brief showers tonight, low 46. Cloudy with a brief shower or two for tomorrow, and the high at 59. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 6:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The lack of accountability, a bit of a theme on this morning's show. We spent the 5 o'clock hour poring over the details of the Smollett saga and the latest turn. Quite a turn it was. What about the media reckoning on the Mueller report, which, of course, has been one of the questions that's been batted around over the last 72 hours since the Barr letter summarizing the Mueller report was released. And we're getting more media types weighing in, which is great, and I appreciate it. Appreciate Jeff Zucker very much. Thank you, Jeff Zucker, CNN Worldwide
Did
President.
they issue an apology? I've been waiting for the apology.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Oh, they wouldn't?
Wouldn't change a thing. A sitting president's own Justice Department investigated his campaign for collusion with a hostile nation. That's not enormous because the media says so. That's enormous because it's unprecedented. We're not investigators. This is I love this cop out I love. We're not investigators. We're journalists, and our role is to report the facts as we know them, which is exactly what we did. Jeff Zucker said in an email interview with the New York Times. Well, I mean, that's good enough for me. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Well, I mean, it's good for me except for, well, you know, CNN reporting that Don Jr. Was...
dating Kimberly Guilfoyle?
No, was colluding with WikiLeaks. Remember back in December, Manu Raju reporting that WikiLeaks emailed Trump Jr. to give him access to stolen documents 10 days before they were released to the public. Unfortunately, CNN got the date wrong from their unnamed sources. Received the email with access to the stolen documents after they'd already been released publicly.
Oh, yeah, that's a little bit of a sticky wicket.
Let me report the fact. I just want to get Zucker's word to report the facts as we know them, which is what we. Okay, sure. All right. Oh, and then there was the CNN report that Trump advisor, the Mooch, Scaramucci Anthony, was under investigation for meeting that took place with a Russian banker prior to Trump's inauguration. And then the CNN had to apologize because their sole source was solely wrong. Yeah. So there's and then the CNN was sure that Jeff Sessions had botched protocol when he didn't list meetings he had with the Russian ambassador Lavrov on his security clearance forms. But 6 months later, CNN walked back that report and explained the FBI sent emails informing Sessions' aide that he did not need to disclose those meetings on his forms because they were carried out in the course of his duties as a senator. You know, reporting the facts as we know them. They're reporters, not investigators. Well, it seems like they're doing investigations here.
Their sources are bad.
Yeah.
I always say, don't let the facts get in the way of a good source.
CNN doesn't. And they didn't when they reported that Jim Comey's congressional testimony last June would contradict a key claim by President Trump that Comey told me was not under investigation. But then Comey actually testified and said, during our one-on-one meeting at Trump Tower, I offered President Trump the assurance that he was not under investigation. So there was that. Oh, and then Lanny Davis on CNN sort of undermined CNN's Michael Cohen story. Remember, CNN reported that Cohen was prepared to tell special counsel Bob Mueller that the president had knowledge in advance of a Trump Tower meeting between his son and the Russians. But then Lanny Davis, a flack for Michael Cohen, said in August that a month later that CNN's reporting was mixed up, that Cohen had no information related to the Trump Tower meeting. Cohen also had said the same thing to Congress on 2 separate occasions. I mean, so again, they're just reporting the facts. They're not investigating. Here's something, and we discussed this a bit yesterday with, I think it was with Juan Williams. Investigator, not a journalist. Well, there's sort of an investigative component to being a journalist. And there certainly is this intellectual curiosity, inquisitiveness. You may be just reporting the facts as you know them, but you can get more than one source. You can stop using unnamed sources as a crutch, and you can ask follow-up questions. You don't just have to take information that you get from a single source or even multiple sources that you hope is true and not ask any questions that might undermine your hopefulness about its truth. And that's what CNN and much of the D.C. press corps, most of the D.C. press corps, was doing for the last 2 years as it relates to the Mueller investigation. And you don't have to believe me, believe them. Another one of our montages. We've had a different one every day because there is so much of this.
Keeps coming.
Does the public understand just how much trouble the president is in?
To believe that the president isn't compromised requires such a leap of faith.
I think we have all the proof we need of a scandal that's arguably worse than Watergate.
Do we know if there is still this belief and aspect that the president is working for the Russians? I can't answer that.
The U.S. president possibly working for the Russians, possibly an unwitting pawn.
Here's what the president said when asked if he was a secret Russian agent.
The president did not directly answer the question.
Why not just say no, if that's the answer?
There is tons of proof of potential collusion.
We have dramatic evidence of collusion.
How is it not collusion? How is all of that not collusion?
The collusion piece of this, piece by piece, starting to be built out.
A political hurricane is out there at sea for him. We'll call it Hurricane Vladimir, if you will.
Donald Trump knows
category
is tightening.
Yeah.
The noose is tightening.
About to make landfall.
The noose is tightening around the president.
The noose is tightening.
Are we
And
talking
I
about
think
Jesse
they're
Smollett?
shocked that the noose is tightening and that people might go to jail.
He knows he and POTUS are going to prison.
Well, I think they're all going to end up together in prison, and maybe that's a good thing.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh, Joy, you're too much.
Jeopardy because of the Mueller investigation. But are you scared that you could go to jail?
The walls appear to be closing in on the president.
The investigative walls are closing in.
Let's end with the venerable Bob Woodward there. Isn't it remarkable, too? Remember all of the caterwauling from the D.C. press corps when that Sinclair mashup was released about the different Sinclair affiliates saying the same thing about their approach to journalism on their respective newscasts. You know, here's our approach to journalism. And they were all essentially reading from the same script because that's the company position.
Right.
And, oh, my gosh, look at this. They're just talking heads. They're just doing the bidding of, you know, the right-wing owned Sinclair to blah, blah. We've played 3 or 4 of these montages covering the vast expanse of cable and network news anchors and talking heads. You think they're reading from the same script, the same talking points? You think they're sharing a brain? Walls are closing in. Walls are closing in. Noose is tightening.
Yeah, you're
Noose
afraid
is
you're
tightening.
going to go to jail.
Beginning of the end. Beginning of the end.
Putin, Category 5.
Vice President Pence is preparing to take the oath of office. He's gonna slide in Marco Rubio as the backfill for VP. I mean, incredible. Has it shaken your confidence in the D.C. press corps at all? Like perhaps Kim Foxx has shaken your confidence, if you had any, in the Cook County justice system? I mean, they're sort of the same question, really. Is it possible to shake your confidence anymore? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. And you also have, this is a fun one, too. Breitbart put together 50 Hollywood stars who accused Trump of treason, collusion with Russia.
Oh, really?
These are fun.
Well, I know Kathy Griffin's on there, Joy Behar,
Well, of
Barbara
course.
Streisand.
How about your Bette Midler? He's a traitor. He has sold himself, and he soon will sell us.
I'm sure Jesse Smollett's on there now because he got the publicity he wanted. He's a big A-lister now.
Let's see. Babs. So we'll get to Babs. Before she was
defending the Michael Jackson.
Those were just those were sexual desires.
Yeah. Right.
Before he was defending Michael Jackson and his pedophilia, she was opining on Trump, very much like Bette Midler. David Korn, who's supposed to be, John Cusack quoting David Korn. It's been treasonous from day one. John Cusack, Chicago's very own. I wonder what he thinks of.
He hasn't been in anything lately, has he?
Nor
what
should
about
he be.
Joan, his sister.
He hasn't made a good movie since Better Off Dead.
Say Anything?
I'll give you Say Anything. All right, fine.
How's his boombox doing?
In Your Eyes. Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright's a great actor. You know, Westworld. A ton of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Kim Jong-un, please come through those doors. Join real Donald Trump and Putin on this treason summit stage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Chris Evans, moron, puppet, coward, sided with Putin over our intelligence agencies. Bill Maher, of course. Mm-hmm. Trump can't demand that everyone stand for the flag and be colluded with a foreign government to subvert the very democracy the flag represents. Rob Reiner, meathead.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump is committing treason against the United States of America. He's aiding and abetting the enemy in the war against ISIS and the cyber war against Russia. Aiding and abetting the enemy in the war against ISIS, too. Boy, it's interesting against the backdrop of additional news last week that the remaining shards of the ISIS caliphate in Syria have been expunged. Jim Carrey, who's...
he's out of his mind,
yeah.
and he's a cartoonist, too.
He's got... Remember this one? Donald Trump is the devil with the horns and the red face and all that. If you can still support this repugnant oath while ignoring 17 investigations, 34 indictments, 7 guilty pleas, 9,000 lies, child imprisonment, money laundering, racism, misogyny, infidelity, environmental rape, and high treason, you're not just misinformed, you're a Sith. Wow. Okay. Mark Ruffalo also saying we're no longer running against the GOP, we're running against Russia and the GOP. Yeah. I mean, just on and on and on. It's sort of a lot of fun to read it. Deborah Messing, she's want to make all kinds of grotesque statements. He's destroying all attempts to protect our environment, endangered animals, taking away women's access to health care and legal abortion, trying to block people of color from voting with extreme judges who support gerrymandering, not to mention destroying all goodwill and allied relationships across the globe. Oh, unless you forget Syria, Crimea, and putting pro-Russia agenda before the United States' best interests. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is why we should listen to celebrities and pay attention to everything they say and do, because they're so thoughtful and informed. Chelsea Handler, the president of the United States, just tweeted out an attack on NATO, the one organization that stands in the way of Putin. Trump just attacked. If there was any question that Trump is a Putin puppet, there is no more. How about it? Okay. What do you think? Steve and Elgin, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was just wondering if you guys or anybody noticed yesterday that when they broke the news on, I believe it was NBC at 4 o'clock, they broke the Jussie Smollett news. The reporter happened to be standing just coincidentally that Trump Tower was in the background.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Steve. So it was Smollett.
You know, they
Russian
had this,
agent.
and they announced at 9:30 that they're having an emergency hearing with Jussie Smollett, and I was actually thought that it was about his attorney, Mark Garagos. I thought he was changing attorneys. That's what I thought it was going to be about.
Nope.
No, really wrong. Didn't see that coming.
Also, yesterday, Devin Nunes, who's an underappreciated hero in this story.
Oh, he is?
Devin,
he is.
Devin Nunes and his tenure as House Intel chairman. Back to the Russian collusion business and the media hysterics and the Democrats' suspension of the rule of law when it works for their political interests. He said yesterday he's likely to make criminal referrals as part of an investigation into alleged bias in the FBI and the Justice Department by the end of this week. He said he is looking at people who lied to Congress, committed perjury, criminal conspiracy. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll work to make as much of it public as possible. So at least, Devin Nunes is on the stick, and he's on offense, which is sort of heartening to see. Jim in Tampa.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I think part of this irresponsibility is how the media is trying to see themselves. They want to see themselves as famous like these crazy Hollywood people. I mean, Bernstein Woodward wanted to see themselves as Edward R. Murrow, but that image isn't there anymore. But Dan, where do you see this going? Where is this leading to?
Where's our celebrity culture,
the media
or what?
Recklessness, the slide, like the slide the past 35, 40 years of just total slide into irresponsibility. It's not going to stop here. Where does it go?
Well, I think. Well, thanks for the call, Jim. I mean, look, it leads where it's we're on the path already. It leads to the balkanization of America and the degradation of the culture, the elimination of truth. Right? It's my truth, not the truth. That's where it's going.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics, insured at the highest level. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web at vansindustrial.com.
Hey, it's March. March Madness, Sweet 16 this weekend. Actually begins tomorrow, right? And for many of us, March means allergy season. And our friends at Balance of Nature have an incredible Madness in March discount that you're going to want to take advantage of, that I'll tell you about in just a second. But first, Balance of Nature, think of it this way, 10 servings of fruits and veggies in a single capsule, because we all know how important getting our daily dose of fruits and vegetables is, especially when it comes to staying healthy this spring. Don't wait until you start feeling sick to take Balance of Nature. Boost your immune system right now, just like I'm doing, and get Balance of Nature today. Dr. Douglas Hauer, founder and creator of Balance of Nature, he's very passionate about his product. He cares about his customers deeply. He showed me the emails, played the voicemails from real people who are taking Balance of Nature and are feeling better and living healthier lives, and that could be you. And today only, when you go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code AmyJ6, all one word, AMY, the letter J, Amy, number 6, AmyJ6, and you'll receive 16% off your first preferred order of Balance of Nature, because it is the Sweet 16 special. Use promo code AmyJ6, all one word, when you visit balanceofnature.com or call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by, making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a large portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-694-7394. 800-694-7394. That's 800-694-7394.
You probably didn't realize it, but the largest organ on your body is your skin. And guys, you're probably not taking care of it the way you should. You're probably using the same bar of soap in the shower in your face that you use on your backside like some kind of savage.
Gross.
It is gross. And you're probably not using any type of daily moisturizer, let alone one with SPF. So it's time to do something smart about your skincare, as I am doing. There's a company in Chicago, right here in Chicago, called Tiege Hanley. They're doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. Started by 4 guys who know how guys think. Tiege Hanley is simple, affordable, and effective. And also, too, I mean, this is not something groundbreaking, except they're serving a niche that was underserved. 108 countries, as we found out yesterday when we broadcast from Tiege Hanley and talked to Kelly Thornton there, the CEO. No hidden fees or inflated costs. Online review scores are out of this world, 4.6 out of 5, more than 2,200 reviews. There's 3 skincare systems you can choose from. Again, wash, scrub, moisturizers with SPF 20, because they're also conscious about melanoma prevention. And as I said, I'm using the products now. I'm actually enjoying them, and I'm not much of a guy who necessarily thinks
take
about
time out.
Yeah,
but you do it when you brush your teeth in the morning.
Well, look, I want to look good for you and for Justin, Quinn. Yeah. I want to look good for you guys.
Yeah,
your
skin
radiant.
is glowing though.
Maybe some of you in the audience would like to look good for the woman in your life, or a woman you hope would be in your life at some point. So right now, go to Tiege.com/Dan Proft. That's me. Use the promo code Dan20, Dan and the number 20. Check out for 20% off your first box. That's Tiege, TIEGE.com/Dan Proft and use the promo code DAN20.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the FOP wants a federal probe into the Smollett case.
We're having a debate off air. Who is public enemy number one in Chicago? Jussie Smollett or Kim Foxx? We'll have FOP President Kevin Graham on at 6:36 to settle that debate.
But first, let's head straight into the newsroom. Perry Williams in today for Mike Scott. Good morning, Perry.
Good morning. Clear skies, and it's 34 degrees in Chicago at 6:30 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says justice was not served after prosecutors dropped all charges against actor Jussie Smollett. Meanwhile, Mayor Rahm Emanuel said the Empire actor used hate crime laws to advance his career.
He did this all in the name of self-promotion. And he used the laws of the hate crime legislation to stand up to be the values that embody what we believe in. This is a whitewash of justice.
Emanuel added he fears victims of hate crimes will be doubted after this case. Smollett was being prosecuted for allegedly lying to police about an alleged racial attack. All records in the case are being sealed. In other news, a woman convicted for the 2007 murder of former Chicago Bear Sean Gale's pregnant girlfriend in suburban Deerfield may get a chance at freedom. The lawyer for Marnie Yang says he's close to filing a post-conviction petition alleging actual innocence. The motion can be filed by early summer, and if granted, it could result in an acquittal based on new evidence or a new trial. The lawyer adds that the hiring of an expert to examine bullet casings and DNA in the case led to the new evidence. Yang is currently serving a double life sentence in the Logan Correctional Center in Lincoln, Illinois, for the shooting death of Ronnie Reuter. A new poll shows a huge divide between the two candidates in the race for Chicago mayor. The survey by WTTW and Crane Chicago Business shows former federal prosecutor Lori Lightfoot with a 36-point advantage over Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. Meanwhile, 40% of the registered voters polled say they are against raising taxes to pay for pensions for city workers and Chicago public school teachers. Also, 63% of the people surveyed said they would not have supported Mayor Emanuel had his name been on the ballot again. In sports news, Darcy Kuemper stopped all 31 shots he faced as the Coyotes shut out the Blackhawks 1-0 in Arizona. Corey Crawford made 27 saves for the Hawks, who have lost 4 of their last 5 games. The Hawks are 5 points out of the final wild card spot in the West with 6 games remaining. They return to action tomorrow night in San Jose against the Sharks. This news report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has the supplies you need to run your business like a boss. This week, buy one HP OfficeJet Pro Ink cartridge and get a second 30% off so you can stock up and save. Offer ends March 30th. Restrictions apply. See store associate or staples.com/HPBOGO for details. Staples. AM 560 News Time is 6:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Sean Hannity always gives you the truth.
The witch hunt we've been through now for almost 3 years that began in July of 2016. That's when it started. And remember, we learned through Page and Strzok's testimony last week that after 9 months investigating this, before the appointment of Mueller, they found no evidence of Trump-Russia collusion, not even a single bit of it.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
On April 5th, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters April 5th.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, people have spring fever. Consumer confidence is up, and that means spending. We want folks to enjoy what they've worked so hard for, but don't forget...
Craig, are you trying to tell me something? I know. Retirement's right around the corner.
Listen, a new season is time for regrowth and building on what you already have. You don't need to do it alone if you have Wealth Management Group at your side.
Spring into action and make Wealth Management Group your go-to partner. And listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text TRY to 350-350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text TRY to 350-350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's TRY to 350-350.
At 6:34 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
On Chicago's west side, the intersection of Roosevelt and Kedzie is closed due to a major wreck involving a car and a flatbed truck. DeKalb, there's a head-on collision, Kesslinger 23, Carroll Stream crash, Gary at Lies Road. Inbound Eden's traffic is tight, Foster to the junction. 20 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound fine at 19. Inbound Kennedy runs 26 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. Inbound Eisenhower, 36 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 31 minutes. Stevenson now 43 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound okay. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop 424. That's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte at AM 560 The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Some sun to start, then increasing cloudiness. Breezy today, high 58. Cloudy, breezy, mild, a brief shower tonight, low 46. Cloudy tomorrow, a brief shower or two, and the high tomorrow at 59. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 7 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So First Assistant State Attorney Joseph McGatz trotted out like a hostage to recite Kim Foxx's talking points yesterday before the assembled Chicago press corps. And look, he had a message. He understands some Chicago police officers, like all of them, investigators, detectives, upset by the decision to let Jussie Smollett walk away with a $10,000 fine effectively and a few hours of community service at Operation Push, expunging the 16 felonies with which he was charged and the associated and sealing the associated case, the reports, the police notes, and the like.
So we'll never find out what actually happened. But I think we know.
Never
because
a
I can't
long
wait
time.
to hear from Abel and Ola, the two brothers who staged this fake attack.
McGatz, though, has a message for Chicago police. He feels your pain.
I certainly understand why they feel that way, and I get it. I would just say they did a great job, and thank them for their work they do.
So that squares it.
Well, Jussie Smollett, by the way, still, I mean, he's sticking to his story, Dan.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of.
It's good enough for me. I'm going to take McGatz at his word, take Jussie Smollett at his word, and we just move on because to the extent that you were worried about Lady Justice being blind in Cook County, McGatz has you. Don't worry about it.
We are transparent. We consider all the facts and circumstances in the case before we make a decision. And we try to be completely transparent as to what we do and why we do it.
That's why the case is sealed.
There you go.
Yeah, it's so. I love this transparency. I mean, does he know what a puppet and what a dope he sounds like?
So you've addressed. Look, he's addressed Chicago police concerns. He's addressed the public's concerns. You have Jussie Smollett continuing to protest his innocence. He needs to get back to shooting Empire.
Yeah, which begins today.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything is right with the world. Everything has been squared away, and we just move on to the next circus. We got a mayor's election on Tuesday. It's going to be a celebration. So let's just put some of this consternation behind us and go back to being the Stockholm Syndrome afflicted populace that we are. It's so much easier.
So embarrassing.
We'll see if
Chicago.
We'll see if Kevin Graham agrees with my analysis there. He is the president of the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police. He joins us now. Kevin, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So you heard Joseph McGatz say, look, he understands the Chicago police officers' frustration, the detectives' frustration, Eddie Johnson's frustration. He applauds the work you did, stands by their investigation. Jussie Smollett was not exonerated. And so it's just a difference of opinion here, and we can all just agree to be friends and go forward.
Yeah, I don't think so. They're number one, the reason we asked for an investigation last week with the federal government was because we felt that there were inappropriate text messages between a private attorney in Los Angeles and the state's attorney, Kim Foxx. That was the reason why we asked for it in the first place. Now, I hadn't heard anything from the northern, the U.S. attorney, the U.S. attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, and so I made sure that he had a copy of the letter. So I hand delivered it yesterday to the federal building. We still want an investigation, and we are also hoping that the federal authorities look into the claim that Mr. Smollett had a threatening letter delivered to him, because that is a federal crime, and certainly the federal authorities can move on that. And so I think we were exactly correct last week in sending that letter and asking for an investigation. We are not just going to walk away and say, too bad, we lost one. No. These detectives worked extremely hard. There was no rock they didn't uncover. There was no lead they didn't follow up. And their work should not just be thrown away and said, it doesn't mean anything. No, they worked hard.
Have you ever heard of this happening any other time in Cook County history? Where you had this much you have a grand jury that indicted him.
No. Certainly I've seen records sealed when there were juveniles involved. Mm-hmm. I've seen, court diversions when there is a case of mental illness and they need mental treatment. But the totality of what had occurred from the state's attorney's office, I've never seen this before. Never.
Yeah, and my point on McGett's explanation for all of this, one of my points is that why not, as part of this alternative disposition, doesn't require any more resources, so $10,000 community service, okay, and also have Smollett allocute to the hoax. Why not have him tell people what he did, mandate that as part of the agreement or there's no agreement, and then at least even if you disagree with the level of punishment, it's settled and there's no dispute because you have an admission.
You certainly hit the nail on the head. I also believe that why on earth would you not let the police department know ahead of time what's going on? why would you not? Why would you have the record sealed? I don't understand that at all.
Well,
he got what he wanted,
and then not letting the police department know. I mean, to develop that a little bit more, because you already have, it seems to me, a police department that and tension between the Chicago Police Department and the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, and how important is that trust relationship between those two ostensibly collaborating agencies with respect to enforcing the rule of law, and now that tension is exacerbated.
You know what? The state's attorney and I spoke last week, and she was very unhappy with the letter that I've asked for the investigation. And I assumed that she would be keeping, if not me informed, at least the police department informed as to the progress of very high-profile and serious cases. And she decided that she was not going to do that. It was apparent to me yesterday when I spoke with the mayor and with the superintendent that they had no idea that this was coming. And, certainly we'd like to know what transpired.
Well, okay, so does it seem to you that there's two systems of justice here in Chicago, one for whites and one for African Americans? Or do you think that this is more about celebrity or more about...
I would say that certainly if you have more access to more expensive attorneys, your chances are better in court. But I disagree with basing it on the color of the skin. I would base it on how much money you have in your pocket, though.
Yeah, and what about one? When this first broke yesterday, I thought, well, maybe there was some sort of prosecutorial misconduct, or there was a concern about the way evidence was obtained, and that was going to impair the ability to get a conviction. Well, none of that is true, according to Joseph Magatz. Nothing has changed. No evidence has changed. They have the same strength of case they had prior to this decision being made. That's Joseph Magatz saying it, who's the attorney in charge of the case. So do you think or maybe you heard something about those high-priced attorneys Smollett has, and because of the ex parte communications between Kim Foxx and Michelle Obama's former chief of staff on behalf of the Smollett family, do you think maybe they were going to call or try to call Kim Foxx as a witness in the case, and that's something the Cook County State's Attorney's Office couldn't tolerate?
Well, sure, that there's certainly that possibility. I think that people only need to go back just a few weeks and remember that Jesse Smollett's attorney, Patricia Brown Holmes, who brokered this deal apparently, it was also the special prosecutor that wrongfully accused 3 police officers without a shred of evidence.
Yeah. Well,
this is the same person.
Oh, okay. Well, now Chicago police opened their internal investigation into alleged leaks in the Smollett case. Now, since charges against Smollett have been dropped, do you think that Chicago police internal investigation should be dropped too?
You know what? I had heard about the leaks. I think certainly you need to know whether it's a high-profile case or it's a sensitive case. We need to keep our comments to ourselves until we can resolve this. I don't think that the investigation is going to stop, I think it's going to lead where it leads. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing. You can't be talking about cases with the media that are ongoing. They need to keep those things to themselves. That doesn't mean that a crime is committed, but that's an internal administrative problem.
First Assistant Joseph Magatz, also explaining the decision, said, look, it's a resource decision in part, and the Cook County State's Attorney's Office needs to focus on violent offenders. Jesse Smollett, not a violent offender, not a threat to be a violent offender. We need to focus on those violent offenders with our limited resources. And you at your FOP7blog.org site make the point, well, with respect to violent offenders, how about the man accused of murdering police officer John Rivera over the weekend? What about how they devoted their resources to prosecuting that violent offender?
Well, I think one of the things that has to be looked at is, should this person have been in jail? If he had been in jail for a home invasion, for domestic violence, and there was another charge in there too that I don't remember offhand. He should have, if he had been in jail, either higher bond or simply just kept in jail for what he was doing. He wouldn't have been on the street, and he wouldn't have shot and murdered Chicago police officer.
He pled out.
Who was off duty.
Right. He pled out to. He pled out to attempted burglary, and he got a sentence of probation just to close the loop on it. So, to your point,
thanks.
right? And so, but just the larger claim that Magatz was making, that this is not totally, but in part a resource issue, and the Cook County State's Attorney's Office is laser focused on violent offenders. Is that the experience of the Chicago police?
Well, I understand what he's saying about violent criminals, but before Kim Foxx took over, we went after shoplifters, and you'd say, well, what does that have to do with it? The problem is that when people, if you own a store and people keep coming in and stealing from you, and there's no consequence, they're going to come in and keep stealing from you. Mm-hmm. There has to be a consequence for your actions, and Mr. Smollett did not receive any consequence for his actions, or very little.
Do you think men and women of the FOP and obviously Chicago police officers are going to do their jobs any differently because the charges against Jussie Smollett were dropped? I mean, because this is a kick in the gut for everyone.
I don't think it's going to be any different, but I do think that that they feel that their work is being diminished. If you have a detective that has stayed up for 24 hours running down leads, making sure that he has to get this before the source dries up. He has gone without sleep, gone without eating to make sure that this case gets resolved in a proper way. And then to say, yeah, it didn't mean anything. We slapped him on his wrist and sent him on his way.
And he's still sticking to his story.
Not only disrespectful to the police officer, it sends a bad message to people who break the law.
What about, not that police would ever not do their job when they're on duty, but what about this thought? What about a police revolt against the civilian authorities the political authorities in this city? What about a walkout, some kind of solidarity show against the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, against Fox for what is ongoing, particularly as John Cass writes about this week, with the hot summer coming and police saying it is going to be an ugly, violent hot summer?
You know what the city of Chicago can do? And they can do this today. They can sign a contract with the Chicago police officers that they've been without a contract for a year and a half, and on July 1st, it'll be 2 years, okay, that they've gone without a raise and without a contract. The city of Chicago can do that tomorrow. They have our proposals, and they have chosen to drag it out. I think that there should be a commitment from whoever the next mayor is that they get this contract done before we have 2 years go by.
Okay. He is Kevin Graham. He's the president of the Chicago FOP. Kevin, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Bye.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Congress fails to override the president's veto. Realtors are hailing a slowdown in the rise of home prices. Obamacare in the spotlight again. Those stories next.
Have you ever seen a pest controller spraying chemicals in your home? It makes you wonder, if their chemicals are safe, then why do they suit up and wear respirators only to leave you to walk back in unprotected? G'day, I'm Scott from Plug-in Pest Free, and I'm here to tell you there's a better way. In an age where we now have the choice to drive electric cars, you too can electronically rid your home or business of unwanted rodents and pests. The answer is Plug-in Pest Free. 100% chemical-free, Plug-in Pest Free is your safest bet for your family and pets. Our bestseller, the Plug-in Pest Free Pro, will cover up to 4,000 square feet. Now that's fair dinkum. So order yours today at gopestfree.com. Use promo code SAVE20 for 20% off plus free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's gopestfree.com, promo code SAVE20. Don't spray and regret. Plug in and forget. Go pestfree.com today.
As President Trump visited Capitol Hill yesterday, the democratically controlled House failed to override his veto in an effort to overturn his declaration of a national emergency. It's spring home buying season, and realtors are hailing the news that home prices in January rose, but at the slowest pace in more than 6 years. The Trump administration advocating all Obamacare provisions be declared unconstitutional. The Justice Department, in a rare move, telling a federal appellate court that the Affordable Care Act and all of its taxpayer-subsidized payments should be struck down as unconstitutional. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 o'clock and 10 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Turning Point USA's Midwest Regional Conference will be held this Friday and Saturday, featuring Vice President Mike Pence. Again, this Friday, hear from Vice President Mike Pence, Charlie Kirk, Mike Lindell, the creator of MyPillow, and many great conservative leaders. Bring a young leader with you to develop leadership skills, enhance your activism techniques. But right now, you can win a free pair of tickets. They're valued at $500 a pop. Here's what you do. Call this number, 847-956-5048. 847-956-5048 to win a pair of tickets. And if not, you can buy your tickets today. Go to tpusa.com. That's tpusa.com, and we'll see you this Friday.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America one life at a time.
I was having a lot of pain in my right hip, and it was causing my leg to be numb below my knee from the hip all the way down. I wasn't getting any sleep. So on top of it, I'm tired, I'm sleep deprived because I'm in pain and I'm not sleeping. So I decided to start taking these things, and the pain is gone virtually. I mean, at 90%, maybe 95%. It was just amazing.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Protect your firearms and valuables with the best money can buy. A Liberty Safe from Maxon Shooter Supplies and LibertySafeChicago.com. Maxon, your local Liberty dealer, stocks the complete line of Liberty safes and accessories. Not in stock? You can customize, configure, and order online at LibertySafeChicago.com. Pick it up at Maxon or have it delivered and professionally installed. Right now, Liberty is offering 0% financing for qualified customers. And through March 28th, Liberty's Centurion 24 is on sale for $749, and the popular Fat Boy Jr. is $500 off. Owning a Liberty Safe has never been so easy. For over 25 years, millions of American homes have trusted their 100% made in the U.S. Liberty Safes to protect their guns, keep them out of the reach of children, and protect their valuables from theft and fire. Liberty stands behind every safe with a lifetime warranty. If anyone tries to break into your Liberty Safe, they'll repair or replace it for free. Choose your Liberty Safe in person at Maxon Shooter Supplies and Displays, or shop online and view details at LibertySafeChicago.com.
Hey, CubeMates. Anyone else looking forward to that exciting quarterly meeting today?
Sure. Another company lunch with bland sandwiches and a side of boring whatever. Can't wait.
Are you guys kidding? Obviously you haven't heard. We're having tasty catering today. Look out, I'm going to go grab my seat.
Get more out of your meetings and company events. It's time to get tasty. Tasty Catering's brand new corporate catering menu has the spice and flavor your team will love. Dine on menu items like a roasted vegetable hummus sandwich, honey sriracha pork chops, and all of their brand new chef creations. Powering productive meetings day or night, Tasty Catering professionals help you plan the perfect chef-crafted menu. Their leading chefs cook up your catering, then the Tasty Catering ambassadors deliver and set up for your event. When your team is finished experiencing their delicious meal, they come back to break it down and clean it all up. Simple and delicious. Visit TastyCatering.com to get started today and find their brand new corporate menu along with comments from other Tasty Catering clients. TastyCatering.com.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas.
or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
No Green Deal. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A progressive attempt to combat climate change put on ice at the Senate.
A lot of the authors of the Green New Deal proposal are trying to suggest that people should not have babies, and I think that's atrocious.
Republican Mike Lee mocked it on the Senate floor, using a picture of Aquaman riding a seahorse to say that's how we'll replace planes to go on flights overseas. Democratic Congressman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez swiped back in a tweet, "If he can be a senator, you can do anything." Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the Green New Deal didn't get a single yay in the Senate. Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, called the vote a stunt.
With this exercise, the Republican majority has made a mockery of the legislative process.
43 Democrats voted present, while others voted no. 57 senators in all voted against the plan. As the vote approached, Republican Majority Whip John Cornyn said Democrats were running for the hills.
Well, ordinarily, when you propose a piece of legislation around here, you're tickled pink when the majority leader schedules it for a vote.
Senate Democrats expected today to announce a new special committee on climate change. Dave?
Rachel, President Trump's joining Democrats, wanting to make the full Mueller report public.
It could not have been better. It said no obstruction, no collusion.
Democrats say, wait, the special counsel did not exonerate him on obstruction. They want the full report by next Tuesday to see the evidence. Jussie Smollett feels vindicated.
Now I'd like nothing more than to just get back to work and move on with my life.
The actor insists he did not stage the hate crime attack he claims he was the victim of, but Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel calls the decision to drop all charges a whitewash of justice.
No explanation as to why the charges against Jussie Smollett were dropped. The Assistant State's Attorney Joseph Maggots claimed that Smollett was treated like any other defendant who has no felony criminal background and was not involved in a violent crime.
That's Trace Gallagher. This is
Good morning, clear skies, and it's 33 degrees in Chicago at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. I'm Perry Williams. The two candidates running for mayor of Chicago are reacting to the decision by Cook County prosecutors to drop charges against actor Jussie Smollett. During a Fox 32 debate last night, Lori Lightfoot said the public deserves more answers from Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office to why the charges were dismissed. Tony Preckwinkle says it's important that the state's attorney be allowed to provide a fuller explanation as time goes on. Both candidates noted the significant amount of resources that went into investigating the case. In other news, no one is in custody after a 15-year-old boy was killed in a shooting on Chicago's South Side. Police say the victim was shot last night while standing on a sidewalk in the 4400 block of South Shields. The teen was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Detectives are conducting a homicide investigation. Texting and driving fines could go up in Illinois. State lawmakers are creating harsher penalties for people who cause serious injury to someone else while texting and driving. The current fine of $75 may go up to $1,000 and a year without a license. In sports news, Serge Ibaka scored 16 points off the bench to lead the Raptors to a 112-103 victory over the Bulls in Toronto. Bulls head coach Jim Boylan says he was proud of his team's effort.
We won the boards. We won the second half. Those are things we talked about at halftime. We were down at halftime on the boards. We wanted to play with pace, and we wanted to drive the ball, and I thought we did that.
The Bulls dropped to 21-54, and they host the Trailblazers tonight at the UC. In college hoops action, DePaul hosts Coastal Carolina tonight in the semifinal of the College Basketball Invitational. This news report is sponsored by Accountemps. When you could use help closing your books and need additional staff, it's time to call Accountemps. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis and fast. Call today. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. AM 560 News Time is 7:04. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Hi, this is Amy Jacobson. Spring is going to be here soon, and it's the perfect time to take notice of any paint issues. Call the professionals at CertaPro Painters right away to take care of your home. Our front porch and back porches were chipping and peeling, just an eyesore. But CertaPro Painters swooped in and made a huge difference. They also painted a majority of our rooms in our house, the quality, service, and attention to detail like no other paint company. You know, spring is the season of change. Time to change your wall color or exterior and transform your home with an updated new look. And if you want some help with colors, they've got you covered with in-home color consultation or online with a color visualizer. Don't put it off. Time to hire CertaPro Painters, your residential and commercial painting expert. Schedule a free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Campbell here, serial entrepreneur. Patriot Software provides cloud-based accounting software that is super easy for business owners and powerful enough for accountants. With Patriot's accounting software, business owners can easily invoice customers, receive payments, pay bills, and track the money in and out of their company without needing a college degree in accounting. And with Patriot Software's patent-pending cash-to-accrual toggle switch, the business's accountant can log in, view the books, and make complex entries to ensure the business has accurate financial statements. Easy but powerful. Everybody wins. Go to PatriotSoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
It's Health Quest Radio, Chicagoland's longest-running health, news, and science show with your host, Dr. David Kolbaba.
You know, people who age slower live longer. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. We can compare your biologic age with your chronologic age to determine how fast you're aging. Just a few seconds to safely scan for those advanced glycation end products that cause premature aging. And I'll pay for your first assessment. That's right, your first one is free. Then we'll give you a few things to do and retest in 60 days. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. But you gotta call our Health Quest radio hotline at 800-794-1855. That's 800-794-1855. First one free if you make that call right now. Some conditions and restrictions do apply. It's our dirt cheap age analysis assessment. Call 800-794-1855. It's Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11.
Staples has the supplies you need to run your business like a boss. This week, buy one HP Office Jet Pro ink cartridge and get a second 30% off, so you can stock up and save. Offer ends 3/30/19. Restrictions apply. See store associate or staples.com/HPBOGO for details. Staples.
At 7:08 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
West side of Chicago, the intersection of Roosevelt and Kedzie is blocked entirely due to a major wreck. The northbound Tri-State has delays from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Eastbound Reagan Tollway is a bit tight, 22nd to Roosevelt. Eden's fine, but the eastbound spur is heavy from the Tri-State to Waukegan Road. Inbound Kennedy, delays start at Canfield. 37 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 18 from Montrose, 14 on the Express. The Eisenhower runs 42 minutes, 390 to downtown. 25 from Manheim. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 21 minutes, 90 to the merge. Bishop, 423. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte. AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A bit of sun for this morning, then increasing cloudiness and breezy today, high 58. Cloudy, breezy, mild, a couple of brief showers tonight, low 46. Cloudy with a brief shower or two for tomorrow, and a high at 59. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 7:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. John Cass at the Tribune has it half right. Half right in his piece on the Jussie Smollett matter when he writes, Fox offices dropped the charges, yes, but also as part of the deal, her office wiped him clean. His record was expunged. You might say Fox bathed him in the waters of the Chicago way, cleansed him, and made a new man out of him. Yeah, that's true.
No, he got what he wanted. He wanted publicity. That's why he staged this hoax to begin with.
Wrong.
He wanted cameras in the courtroom. They were going to accommodate that. Give him whatever he wants. And now, oh, looky here. Do some community service. Pay your $10,000 fine.
Nope.
Now he's back on Empire.
Nope. Got it all wrong.
Oh,
Don't understand the importance of this moment. John Cass doesn't understand it. Kevin Graham doesn't understand it. Nobody understands it except me.
Of course. Dan,
As
the chosen one.
Well,
Yes,
no.
You are the second coming, so let's go.
Me only as a portal for Obama blow-up doll Van Jones. You don't understand what's happening here. You don't understand the moment in which we are all living, the importance of it. You don't understand that Jussie Smollett, I'm talking slowly for emphasis.
Okay, because I'm blonde.
Jussie Smollett, are you listening? Jussie Smollett is to homophobia what Jackie Robinson was to race. Let that wash over you like the cleansing waters of the Chicago way. Here, let me defer to my intellectual North Star, Van Jones, talking about Jussie Smollett after he was indicted.
This is the opposite. I mean, the superintendent says that
it's the opposite.
this is the opposite of that.
Look, I mean, this is the fall of an icon, and I don't think people understand how important he has been in the black community. Empire as a show.
Yeah.
To have him as a beloved character, I think did a great deal to knock back homophobia in the black community. The fact that Empire has been celebrated, the fact that he has been celebrated, and you see homophobia in the black community through his eyes on this show. This is a Jackie Robinson against homophobia in the black community, an icon, a beloved icon, and now you have the fall of an icon at a time when we need icons, when we need heroes, when we need people who stand up. So the level of betrayal, if this is true,
yes,
is so deep. You can see it in your voice. You can see it in your face. It's almost hard to get the words out because of how beloved he has been and how hurt we were when we thought that he had been hurt.
We can't afford to have an icon of Jussie Smollett's stature fall from grace. He is above the law. He is more important to America than worrying about the idiosyncrasies of filing false police reports and committing felonies and blah, 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 blah. Jussie Smollett, transcend us as people, Amy. That's what you don't see.
Well, Jussie Smollett, he is fighting for the disenchanted.
I will always continue to fight for the justice, equality, and betterment of marginalized people everywhere.
You know who says something like that? A hero. Jussie Smollett, hero. Jussie Smollett, icon. Jussie Smollett, 21st century Jackie Robinson.
I didn't even know who Jussie Smollett was until he staged this
That's
attack on
because,
himself.
unlike me, you're not down with these struggles.
No, I am not. I'm not down with getting a tuna fish sandwich at 2 in the morning when it's minus 23 degrees outside.
What heroes do. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by Chicago Tribune Page 2 columnist John Cass. We're going to give him a chance to apologize for what he's written about Jussie Smollett. John, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you terrified the hell out of me, Amy. At that point, when he was talking, I got scared, and I was worried that he and Van Jones were going to reach down to the mud of the Chicago River. I'm talking about Dan Proft, and get some cleansing, like mud for your face, whatever you guys were doing yesterday.
I used T. Shanley.
Yeah. You rub the mud in your face.
Look,
you need to exfoliate, Cass.
I would. That's what I'm saying. I needed. I didn't have the word. Thanks, Amy.
I would love to be reborn on the shores of the Chicago River as well. But explain to us, Kim, you keep saying Kim Foxx's office, and you're misleading readers. You're suggesting that Kim Foxx had anything to do with this. She recused herself, a wall between herself and the handling of this case. And so why do you keep invoking Kim Foxx's name? I don't understand.
I don't know. Is it just my own innate prejudice that, that Kim Foxx? I don't know. I can't help it. Because she's the state's attorney, that's why. And
but she's a star
chaser. Out with Chen. She's a star chaser. That's the appropriate another word I could have used yesterday when I was calling her the star something. But star chaser is good.
Yeah, because she went
to what she is.
Right. She went to cast parties and all that, and she received the email from Michelle Obama's former chief of staff. She was the text messages. I don't know if you read them, but CNN obtained them.
Like
their sister talk, like, hey, help a sister out. We got to do this, and it's sickening. How long do you think? I mean, she's going to be thrown out of office, right? I mean, the voters will wake up this time, right, John Cass?
Well, now that Dan has basically had Van Jones say that Kim Foxx has protected the icon, the Jesse. What was he? What was he again?
Jesse Owens. He's the Jackie Robinson of homophobia.
Of the black of homophobia. Yeah. Then I think she's a shoo-in for the next time.
As well, she
and
should
maybe
be.
that helps Tony. Maybe that helps Tony Preckwinkle. You ever think of that?
That Kim Foxx as state's attorney helps Tony Preckwinkle.
Well, Kim Foxx is a former chief of staff.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but it helps her because Tony Preckwinkle then won't be prosecuted for something, or why?
No, because Kim Foxx, Tony Preckwinkle's political creation, saves the Jackie Robinson of homophobia from the evil police department.
It's a great story, and there's no question about that. What did you see? You made mention of this, the sealing of the case. First Assistant State's Attorney Joseph Magette said, "Look, that's allowed for by law, and so what's the big deal?"
Right, and we really didn't exonerate him. We didn't exonerate him.
That's right. He was punished.
Wait, did he sell? I want to know if there are. I just want to see a little video besides your elocution, where he's supposed to stand in the Jesse Jackson gift shop at Operation Push, selling Jesse Jackson action figures. Like maybe denuding a president or whatever Reverend Jackson would be good at as an action figure.
Yeah,
and then testifying as to his guilt in all this.
Well, I was told that he was meeting with at-risk youths at Rainbow Push over the weekends, and that he spent some
Jesse
time there.
Jr.
That he spent some time there on Monday,
really
as well. But don't you think he had to make
Jesse.
a donation to Rainbow Push too? Don't you think there's a little something in it for Reverend Jackson?
I was hoping. Come on, man! I was hoping that he'd wear one of those green Cook County vests and walk around on Drexel with a stick and a little nail at the end of the stick and pick up beer cans. I mean, come on, like the other guys do.
I know, but how could Jesse Smollett walk around the city of Chicago? He's public enemy number one.
Oh, please.
Oh, come on.
He's a
Something's going to happen.
He's a hero.
He's an icon.
He's a hero.
That's right. He's an icon.
But
he's
my Jackie Robinson of homophobia, man.
He still doesn't believe. He's still sticking by his story.
The hand wringing. Oh, golly. He paid $10,000.
Dan
What?
Proft, where's Robert Mueller when you need him? Because I would like Mueller to ask, as I said today in the column, ask Kim Fox. Is it true that Barack Obama loves Empire as much as Michelle?
Do you think that maybe Jussie Smollett, as part of his continuing love affair with the city of Chicago, could MC or Grand Marshal the opening of Obamaland in a couple of years, whenever that occurs?
Yeah, the Obama Temple of Love and Fealty?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, so John Cass, why do you think prosecutors dropped charges against Smollett? What's your gut feeling?
She played a game. My gut is she was compromised by Tina Chen. There was whatever was going to come out is something they didn't want to come out. They drop it and to protect Kim Fox. How's that?
Yeah, that's right. Because she's. I mean, if I'm representing Smollett, what's the first thing I do, knowing she had to recuse herself? Call her as a witness, saying the whole thing was tainted from the beginning.
Look, as you guys are morning hosts, and I'm sure you get this too. People are going to reach out to anybody who has any kind of public influence. I'm sure you tell this to your political candidates as well. Anybody. The people are going to find out what your appetite is. What your appetite, and they're going to whet it. Because this is how Chicago is. It's a crooked town, and people want to touch elected and political officials. And what do you have to say? You have to say, I can't have that conversation with you, Miss Chen. Since you're such good friends with Amy Rule, why don't you have Rahm Emanuel called Eddie Johnson to get involved here? Why do I have to be?
Well, they were kept out of the conversation. So now, there's an even more acrimonious relationship between Chicago police and the state's attorney's office, don't you think?
It's going to get worse, don't you think?
It's going to get real around here.
Well,
huh?
Come on with me and let's hang out on Gladys and talk to those guys on West Gladys. They love the Chicago police. That's the thing.
Well, like the rest of the lemmings in Chicago, were you inspired by Tiny Dancers moralizing about people in positions of celebrity or authority not being held accountable? Whitewashes of justice, which he is now apparently opposed to. This is a recent development. Were you impressed? Were you impressed by that?
Rahm Emanuel is nothing if not precise with his language, unlike the last occupant of the office. So when he says whitewash 6 or 7 times, he means it. He means to use it that way, whitewash, and so he did. But
well, he compared it yesterday to the college admissions scandal. That if you have money, you can. There's different rules for you.
This just
but he also has the money and the power.
I just think, but also there are people that I respect in politics I talk to who knew the late legendary Richard J. Daley and said, it's the first time they thought Rahm was basically back in the police, like Richard J. Daley would.
Well,
I thought he did a good job. I thought the mayor did a good job there.
Yeah, I was proud of him up until the fact that he didn't attack Kim Fox. He stopped right there.
Dan cannot. You have to ask her. You have to ask her what her.
Yeah, you have to ask her. What's her? You have to ask her.
But Dan cannot. Dan's still exfoliated to the point where he can't even give Rahm Emanuel even one little shred. Have you no decency? Did you notice that?
Yeah, shame on me. Yes, right.
Who was from the McCarthy hearings, right?
Correct.
Have you no decency, sir, Senator? Right.
So, but let me ask you this, John. Do you think that was to the extent that there is any part of Rahm that is authentic? You thought that was authentic?
I think there's some parts of it that were, but on the other hand, note that David Axelrod, his left brain, came out quickly to stick it to Kim Fox on Twitter, and I was reminded that after Laquan McDonald blew up, and Anita Alvarez basically held back the charges because she was playing ball with City Hall for a while.
Yeah, was that a whitewash? Was that
immediately?
No,
it wasn't. Immediately, David Axelrod stuck it to Kim Fox and made her the fall guy in this whole thing. I mean, Anita Alvarez. So what do you want? You want honesty and virtue out of politicians in Chicago? Come on, man.
Okay, you just
Come on, man.
just when they play
Put some mud on your face and scrape it off for your exfoliants or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
He's moisturizing.
Fine, Joseph Welch. I'm properly shamed. I should just celebrate when a politician at least acts like a regular human being would act in the same circumstance. What about the Chicago police?
When they pantomime, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
great
When they
pantomime.
Right.
What about the Chicago police? So we just had Kevin Graham on the show at the bottom of the last hour.
Yeah, I heard it.
And asked him about how about a police revolt against the civilian political authorities for a bit of a reckoning that's not going to come from the electorate. What do you think about that?
I think that cops have long been complainers. I like the guys, but long been complainers about their bosses. It's like reporters and their editors. You know, it's just the way we are. But I think that sometimes, like in New York, remember when they turned their back on de Blasio?
Yes.
Coppers turn their. You know, there's some moments for that. There's some moments for back turning, and you know, I remember when Paul Bauer was killed, and Tony Preckwinkle was walking around the four corners around the outside of the morgue, shaking hands, like making cops shake hands with her.
Unbelievable.
You know, is it because they didn't know what to do,
Right.
and she was playing politics.
Right.
It's like that kind of thing. And Kim Fox is Tony's creation. So I think, turn your back. Why not?
Well, we got a new mayor coming in. Lori Lightfoot will be elected on Tuesday. She'll take office a month later.
I don't know about that. You keep saying
the race is over.
It's done.
It's done.
You're
close.
working on my brain every morning. I don't like it, Dan.
It's not close.
You're
Don't
It's gonna be a
I'm moving to
landslide
Indiana already.
Don't embarrass
What?
yourself,
She's
John. It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. It's not like it's not like Maxine Waters and the Mueller investigation where nothing
You
is over.
sounded-
This is over.
You sound like Don Rose. I had him on the Chicago Way, and he's like, it'll be something between a landslide and I don't know what was the other one, whatever it was.
Does he still wear
Total
those?
wipeout?
Does he still wear those? But not a whitewash.
Berets?
And like the black turtlenecks. It's weird.
I think he was all in black. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like a beatnik communist.
Hey,
It's
I
interesting.
have liberal friends, beatnik friends, man. Come on.
No, you're a man for all
I miss your
seasons and all
diversity.
peoples.
He
I
just
get
doesn't like
it.
cats.
But what about this new mayor? Lori Lightfoot was not able to be critical of the state's attorney's office handling of this case yesterday. So I don't know if that portends very well for this reform-minded mayor. We're told.
Well, if you're correct in your Van Jones, Jackie Robinson thing, then Jussie Smollett is an icon. And why would you want to condemn the freeing of an icon?
Right. Yeah,
Correct?
that's good. That's true. I mean, Jackie Robinson.
I mean, that's why you read me, right?
Nelson Mandela, Jussie Smollett. Yeah. Okay. All right. I buy it. John Cass, Chicago Tribune columnist. His piece, Kim Fox cleans Jussie Smollett up the Chicago way in the Tribune. Check it out. John, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. See you guys.
See ya.
And he joined us. He joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
When you need heavy equipment to complete challenging projects such as site preparation, utility and sewer, material handling, agricultural, recycling, or commercial snow removal, you just can't beat the price, power, and performance of Hyundai construction equipment from Harding's Heavy Equipment. The Harding family offers sincere individual customer service for heavy equipment to rent or purchase since 1916. Plus, they deliver right to your job site and have trained technicians to take care of the maintenance requirements of all your equipment. Harding's Heavy Equipment is in the business of building relationships with their customers. That's what it's all about. A community business with top quality individual attention and service for over 100 years. When your project needs the reliability and power of Hyundai equipment, work with a true business partner that will be with you after the sale. Call Harding's Heavy Equipment for information and price specials on the Hyundai 5x5 and Edge lease programs. Available for a limited time. Call 219-696-8911 or online at hardingsinc.com.
Hey, looking to finally pay off your debt? Then you need to call Team Hochberg to learn how you can pay off your debt with a cash-out refinance. Team Hochberg has helped listeners pay off credit cards, student loans, car loans, medical bills, and collections, which has reduced listeners' payments over $30,000 a month. Though, here's what you do, though. You have to call him if you want to refinance and also take some cash out and refinance. Think of all the things you can do with money that you'd be saving. Team Hochberg, though, can't help you pay off your debt if you don't call them. Call 855-56-DAVID, 855-56-DAVID, or visit 560david.com. Team Hochberg helped me and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't pick up the phone and call him. The number again, 855-56-DAVID, or online at 56david.com. Homeside Financial, equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, MB 6761019, NMLS 1124061.
Jim was a 48-year-old husband, father, and business owner. He understood the importance of life insurance to protect his family and business. Jim knew what happened with no life insurance. His own father died, leaving a wife and children with no financial resources. Jim vowed to have enough coverage. He purchased a life insurance policy from NCSF. When Jim lost his life in a tragic car accident, his family grieved. But Jim had planned, and his family and business were financially secure because of life insurance through NCSF. NCSF is a not-for-profit company that provides life insurance and member benefits that commercial carriers do not. Jim was secure in knowing he would provide his family with financial security. He also chose NCSF because of their commitment to give back to communities through philanthropic work. For Jim, NCSF membership was a great fit. Protecting your life matters to NCSF, and it should matter to you. Life insurance can make the road ahead easier for those you leave behind. Visit NCSF.com to learn about their life and annuity products and member benefits. Visit NCSF.com today.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Paul Krugman, writing in the New York Times, Trump's kakistocracy is also a hackistocracy.
Wow. Common spelling?
Kakistocracy, that's a word with friend. Word with
Words
prof.
with prof.
That you can use for a word with friend. Kakistocracy, meaning governed by the least among us.
Of course it does. I knew that.
And he's talking about our friend, Steve Moore. And we're going to have Steve Moore on at 7:37 to respond to that Lord of the Rings character, Krugman.
And later meet the only man in the world with a perfect bracket. How he did it. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Harry Williams filling in for Mike Scott.
Good morning, clear skies, and it's 33 degrees in Chicago at 7:31 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm Perry Williams.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of.
That was Jussie Smollett. That was right after Cook County prosecutors dismissed charges against him, but the Empire actor remains under FBI and Postal Service investigation. Legal analyst Danny Savallo says deals such as the one that dropped Smollett's charges are common in the legal system.
Often prosecutors will offer deals like this. Essentially, hey, maybe you go to probation, maybe you do some community service. We still think you did it, but we're not going to prosecute, and we'll come back in 6 months. And if you haven't robbed a bank, well, then the case is dismissed.
The charges that Smollett faked a hate crime against himself by hiring two men to attack him have been dropped, but the probe continues into a threatening letter Smollett received at the Empire office in Chicago. The letter was filled with slurs and death threats, with Trump's slogan MAGA written across the envelope. The federal investigation is looking into whether Smollett sent the letter to himself. In other news, thousands of gun owners are headed to the Capitol for a rally. Gun rights supporters will be marching for Illinois Gun Lobby Day today. About 80 Southern Illinois residents attended a town hall in Mount Vernon Monday to learn about key issues in Springfield, like gun control. It is unclear how a naked man got past security and walked onto the tarmac at O'Hare Airport. Police say the man was having a mental crisis yesterday when he entered a restricted area near Terminal 1. He was shouting and taking off his clothes. Before officers apprehended him, the man was taken to the hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. In sports news, prospect Eloy Jimenez is officially on the White Sox opening day roster. He's expected to start in left field tomorrow against the Royals in Kansas City. Jimenez signed a 6-year, $43 million contract with the Sox last week. This news report is sponsored by Staples. Trust the pros at Staples to print whatever your business needs, like color presentations, brochures, and banners, and right now earn 20% back in rewards on your color printing. Ends June 22nd. In-store only. Exclusions apply. See staples.com/20bag for details. Staples. AM 560 news time is 7:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher likes to watch the Democrats scramble.
Isn't it fascinating to watch the Democrats flailing? They are literally flailing away right now. Let's lower the voting age to 16. Let's get rid of the Electoral College. Third trimester abortions just A-OK with me, says Beto O'Rourke. I mean, it's one thing after another.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
On April 5th, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better you don't get in my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I have a Bible.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters April 5th.
Do you own or run a thriving business in the Chicagoland area? Have you overcome obstacles to make your business what it is today? If that's your business, then AM 560 wants to tell your story on the AM 560 Business Tour, presented by Signature Bank. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson will be broadcasting live from businesses all around Chicagoland, telling success stories of thriving, successful businesses. Hey, if that's you, tell us about it. Visit 560theanswer.com/business and submit your information. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
Check out Ground Game, the latest podcast from the Associated Press discussing the top political issues around the country. Available on Apple Podcasts.
At 7:36 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
We've had many crashes reported this morning. There's a major wreck on the west side of Chicago, Roosevelt at Kedzie. The intersection is shut down and will be for some time. Eastbound on the Eden Spur, traffic is stop and go from the Tri-State to Waukegan Road. The Edens itself is fine. Inbound Kennedy, 32 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. It's 18 from Montrose, 17 on the Express. The Eisenhower's 50 minutes, 390 to downtown, 36 from Manheim. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is half an hour from 95th to downtown. Without Tri-State delays, from the 83rd Street Toll to LaGrange Road, Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte at AM 560 The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Some sun to start, then increasing cloudiness. Breezy today, high 58. Cloudy, breezy, mild, a brief shower tonight, low 46. Cloudy tomorrow, a brief shower or two, and a high tomorrow at 59. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 8 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So Paul Krugman, who is the chief economist for the Elven Kingdom of Mirkwood, writing in the New York Times.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah. Well, Elven Kingdom of Mirkwood is from Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen Paul Krugman?
I have seen Paul Krugman. Yeah.
Tell me he doesn't look
Okay.
like the chief economist for an Elven Kingdom.
Yes.
All right. He writes in the New York Times about our friend Steve Moore, calling Steve Moore essentially a kekistocrat and hackistocrat, which isn't very nice. About Moore, writes Krugman, almost goes without saying he's been wrong about everything.
Wow.
And I don't mean the occasional bad call, which all of us make. I mean a track record that includes predicting W's policies would produce a magnificent boom, Obama's policies would lead to runaway inflation, tax cuts in Kansas would produce a near immediate boost to the state's economy, and much more. And, of course, never an acknowledgement of error or reflection on why he got it wrong. Many people have described the Trump administration as a kakistocracy, which it is, but it's also a hackistocracy, ruled by the ignorant and incompetent. And in this, with Steve Moore's nomination to the Fed Reserve Board of Governors, and in this, Trump is just following standard GOP practice. Oh, withering.
Off with their heads.
We must give our friend Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, chief economist, and future Fed Board of Governors member, a chance to respond. Steve joins us now. Thanks for being with us, Steve. Appreciate it.
Excuse me, that's Governor Moore to you,
Oh,
sir.
excuse me, Governor Moore. Governor-elect Moore.
Exactly, and this is gonna. It looks like it's going to be a very bruising process. The left has their knives out for me, and
Sounds like it.
about Paul Krugman. I mean, look, I think you have a well-heeled, very educated audience, so they know Paul Krugman is probably the wrongest economist, in 50 years. He was the one who, remember, we talked about this the day after the election. He was asked on MSNBC. This was after the 2016 election, when the stock market would recover, and he said never. And then 2 hours later, the stock market went up by 700 points. So he doesn't have a very good track record at all, obviously. He was one of the people who said if Donald Trump is elected president, he's going to cause the second Great Depression. Of course, we've had the great bull market, strong economy ever since. And so, he's been wrong. But people ask me, because every fourth column he writes, he takes a stab at me. He's like a stalker. And,
hey, listen.
I've been puzzled by why that is, how I get so under his skin. And it goes back, I think, about 3 or 4 years ago, and some of your audience may have been there. I was at Freedom Fest, which is this big conference with 3,000 people out in Las Vegas, and they had this big debate between, at the time I was at the Wall Street Journal, I was the chief economics writer at the Wall Street Journal. He was the chief economics writer at the New York Times. So we squared off, and I just pulverized the guy in this debate. And by the way, this is not just my opinion. They did a survey afterwards. Like 90% of the people said I won, and in fact, they had to just peel him off the stage. He had been so run over, and I think he's never forgiven me for that.
No,
so I think that's the explanation.
Well, let me tell you something, though. It's one thing to suggest you're incompetent. It's another thing to call you a kakistocrat, and those are fighting
What
words.
do you call me?
A kakistocrat.
Common spelling.
That is a fighting word, and I think you should challenge him to a duel to the death.
You mean with pistols?
Or swords, whatever you prefer, whatever you can agree on. You could do Hamilton Burr style. I don't know.
Yeah. He's a pretty weird guy. But look, people know that Paul Krugman is just a professional provocateur. He's been wrong. He really has been wrong just about everything. By the way, I've been pretty right about. And I'm not always right. I mean, I get things wrong for sure. But I was the one who said back, and I've said this on your show. I said it 3 or 4 months ago. The Fed was too tight. Before they started raising rates, we had 4% economic growth, which is what we wanted, with high employment and no inflation anywhere to be seen. And the Fed started raising interest rates. It's like, we have a beautiful picture of the economy. It's better than it's been in 30 years. Why do you want to do anything to disrupt this picture? And the growth rate started to slow, and we saw, a decline. And I said, look, this was a ding bad idea to be raising interest rates right now. And so what happened was that, we've seen a slowdown in the economy. And by the way, the Fed even has admitted that was right, because the Fed reversed course back in late December. So what I'm going to stand for, I want to make this very clear. Yes. I want high growth. I want high wages for workers. I want a lot of jobs, and I want stable prices. Now, if that's controversial, don't appoint me. Don't confirm me. Because I have to go through Senate confirmation. But that's what I stand for: high growth, lots of jobs, high wage growth, and stable prices. Now, Dan and Amy, you tell me what's wrong with that agenda, and if it's wrong, I'll step down.
No, I'm for
You
it.
haven't even gotten
So
there
you haven't
yet. You
gotten
can't
there.
step down.
Well, that's the thing. All right, so
I'll withdraw.
Stephen Moore.
But it's amazing how controversial this has been. I mean, they're treating me like Kavanaugh. I mean,
know.
it's really amazing. And it's only been a week. And look,
let's talk about your high school yearbook.
Yeah.
What do you got in your yearbook, Stephen
Yeah.
Moore?
Did you ever hang out with Squee?
Stephen Moore, hello.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear what you
I
just
asked
said. Sorry.
if they're going to go through your yearbook from New Trier. Didn't you go to New Trier?
Yeah, exactly. And those were pretty. I used to, in my senior year, I put some. I spiked the juice, that you give at the dances and stuff.
Right,
So
I
I have,
prepare.
I have skeletons in my closet for sure.
Okay. Well, how did you find out did President Trump call you directly to let you know?
It was
that he
cool.
wants you?
It's just in the middle afternoon. I get a call. Is this Steve Moore? I said it is. Can you take a call from the president on Air Force One? And I said,
I'll call him
sure.
back.
I'll take a call from the president. And he came on, and he could not have been nicer. He said, Steve, it's my honor I want to nominate you to be a member of the Federal Reserve Board. And I was just blown away by it. I still have goosebumps about it. There's a guy when I was in fourth grade at Faith, Hope, and Charity School in North Shore. I was in the Pokey group. So it's been it's an amazing thing, and I'm really excited about it. And it's going to be an amazing experience. I hope to guide, Powell, who's the chairman. And then look, the chairman of the Federal Reserve has all the power. The other board members try to influence his thinking. But I'm going to say to him, look, I want you to be a success. You want to be a success. Here's what you do to get the economy on this high growth path. And hopefully, I think he'll listen, and it'll be a great experience.
And the other nominee for the other vacant seat is Herman Cain. What do you think about that choice?
Now, is that official yet? Is that? I don't think it's official yet. I love Herman Cain, by the way. I helped write the 999 plan for him.
Oh, you did?
I love the guy. Boy, would that be awesome to be on the Federal Reserve Board with Herman Cain. Incidentally, one of the things they've been saying
Godfather's Pizza would cater every meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Godfather's Pizza would cater every meeting.
You got it. We could. That was just the point I was going to make, Dan. Is that one of the criticisms that's been made by the academics is Steve Moore doesn't have a PhD. He's underqualified for this job. And well, first of all, the PhD economists in this country are the ones who've gotten us in all the trouble. Number two, what's wrong with having somebody like who ran a pizza chain? What a great thing to have on the Fed. Somebody actually understands business. Somebody understands how the world works. No, I'm not a PhD economist, but I have 30 years of policy experience. That's probably more than anyone else. By the way, there have been Federal Reserve Board chairmen who didn't have an economics degree.
Sure.
So
And you could tell. I mean, I know it's a Senate confirmation, but do you wish that Ocasio-Cortez was in the Senate so you could have an exchange with her like Mike Lee sort of had in absentia with her over the Green New Deal in the Senate yesterday?
That was a great vote yesterday. Not a single Democrat voted for this exalted Green New Deal. It shows they're terrified of the effects of this, which would be extraordinarily negative. I mean, this is really one of the worst economic ideas of all time. I mean, getting rid of planes, getting rid of cars, getting rid of 75% of our energy sources, all to pay homage to the gods of global warming. It shows that Democrats realize that the American people want a clean environment. We want to make sure that our climate isn't changing. But the idea that we're going to have to give up everything that we have, our entire lifestyles, our money, pay 3 times more for gasoline, people aren't going to go for that.
Yeah, and
nor should they.
Senate Democrats said that it's an aspirational document more than a piece of legislation.
But that tells you a lot about where the Democrats want to go. If that's their aspiration, to shut down our economy.
Snow White was an aspirational story too. Yeah, that's right. Hey, let me. Steve, we should probably get together so I can do a murder board with you in preparation for your confirmation hearing.
That's what I need, actually.
So
you can play. You know what? I need you to play the part of Elizabeth Warren because she's on that committee.
Well, I don't know if I could play somebody that
maybe
dumb,
Amy.
but,
I think maybe you're going to have to do that.
Yeah, consumer. Yeah. I mean, here, let me. What about monetary policy though, Steve? Monetary policy.
Oh, CNN said
you,
he's unfamiliar with monetary policy.
He's not unfamiliar with monetary policy. Are you a disciple of Friedman's K% rule? That would be the question I'd ask you. Are you? Well, come on.
All right, guys, I got to run. Great to be with you. Thanks for all your support. And I want you guys to lead the Steve Moore for the Fed.
You got it.
We can't wait to see your yearbook.
Co-presidents of your fan club,
right.
Steve Moore. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
My name is Stefan Saporta, and I am a proud sponsor of AM 560's Food for the Poor campaign. I am also the principal attorney of one of the premier mortgage foreclosure defense firms in the state of Illinois. Since 2009, colleagues have turned to us for both instruction and guidance, and many have referred their clients to us. By zealously defending their cases in court, we have enabled many homeowners to qualify for loan modifications and other alternatives to foreclosure. We have even defeated the banks outright in a handful of cases, saving our clients hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process. Give our offices a call to learn more about your rights and how we can help you protect and preserve your home. 815-741-9400. Saporta Law Offices. Quality legal representation at reasonable rates. Our number again is 815-741-9400. Thank you.
I took my Balance of Nature today because I'm helping boost my immune system for the game today when the 5th and 6th grade girls Blaine Blue Jays take on Bell. Game's already sold out, Dan, just in case you're wondering. But being around all the kids, it's important to boost your immune system because they have all those germs associated with them. And Balance of Nature, 10 servings of fruits and veggies in a single capsule. And it's important to take your daily dose of fruits and vegetables, especially when it comes to staying healthy this spring. Don't wait until you start feeling sick to take Balance of Nature. Boost your immune system now, just like I'm doing, and get Balance of Nature today. I spent time with Dr. Douglas Howard, founder and creator of Balance of Nature, very passionate about his product. He cares about his customers, and he reads emails and he gets voicemails every day from real people who are taking Balance of Nature and feeling better and living happier and healthier lives, and that can be you too. And today only, when you go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code AMYJ6, all one word, AMY, the letter J, the number 6, and you'll receive 16% off your first preferred order because it's the Sweet 16 special. Use promo code AMYJ6, all one word, when you visit balanceofnature.com.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman and Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman and Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your Sprinter or light-duty diesel is the lifeblood of your business. You can't afford to have just anyone care for this major piece of equipment. You wouldn't go to an eye doctor to fix your knee, so don't go to any shop to fix your Sprinter, Duramax, Cummins, or Power Stroke vehicle. Go to the experts at Remke's Garage. Remke's Garage doesn't just fix a problem, they find a solution. Remke's goal is to make sure you never lose a dollar of business. That's why owner Joe Remke sits with you and creates a maintenance plan specific to your unique vehicle. Go Go to Remke'sGarage.com to learn more about their specialization in Sprinter and light-duty diesel vehicles. Their commitment to your business is backed with a complimentary maintenance plan and free 2-year warranty on all parts. They'll even pick up, deliver, and offer you a loaner vehicle free of charge. Go to Remke'sGarage.com to schedule your free maintenance plan consultation.
Guys, you're probably not taking care of your skin the way you should be, so knock it off and start doing it. You're probably using the same body bar of soap in the shower on your face. You can't use the same soap that you use on your backside on your face, Amy. It's disgusting. Stop behaving like a barbarian. You're probably not using any type of daily moisturizer, let alone one with SPF. So it's time to do something smart about your skincare, as I am doing, to lead by example. There's a company right here in Chicago called Tiege Hanley, and they're doing something about how men think about and treat their skin. Started by 4 guys who know how guys think. Tiege Hanley is simple, affordable, and effective. You get all the products you need for your daily skin care regimen shipped directly to your door, so you don't have to go shop, which is insufferable. I know. I feel the same. No hidden fees or inflated costs. They have an online review score of 4.6 out of 5 based on more than 2,200 reviews. There's 3 different skincare systems. Each include their wash, scrub, and moisturizers with SPF 20 for melanoma prevention, which is good. Can even up your routine to include eye cream or super serum that fight the signs of aging if you like.
I'm using the eye cream, by the way.
You're using it?
And you know what? Yesterday, after we had our live remote, I went to their warehouse where they do all the packaging. And the product is made right here in Chicago, in Broadview. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I thought for sure they're going to say it's for China or Taiwan. No, it's right here, made here in the Chicago area.
And they're shipping all over the world. 108 countries they have clients in, so this is going global. So go to Tiege.com to join the global onslaught. Tiege.com/DanProft, to be specific. Use the promo code DAN20 and check out for 20% off your first box. That's Tiege, Tiege, Tiege.com/DanProft. Use the promo code DAN20.
In today's turbulent times, professionals from a variety of industries are faced with concerns regarding workplace violence and the harm it can cause to its employees. Workplace violence can manifest in any setting and oftentimes might come without warning. The team at P4 Security Solutions can assist your organization in mitigating risks to prevent you and your employees from becoming a victim.
Hi, I'm Lawrence Doria, President and CEO of P4 Security Solutions. As a lifelong Chicagoan and security expert with over 40 years in the industry, I take pride in providing our clients a variety of security offerings to address your risks and concerns. Our security services deliver customized offerings to address threats while maintaining continuity. P4 Security Solutions, your trusted advisor for uncertain times.
Contact P4 Security Solutions when you require active shooter training, workplace violence programs, off-duty police services, security assessments, personal protection, or any other of our security solutions. Visit our website at p4secure.com or call us at 312-502-1702 for immediate response.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we mentioned Senator Mike Lee, Republican from Utah, his speech on the Senate floor yesterday during debate over AOC and Senator Markey's GND. Lee had some fun with it, saying he was going to treat the Green New Deal with the seriousness it deserves, and boy, did he. So here's how we travel around the expanse of Alaska in a Green New Deal, no fossil fuel world, according to Mike Lee. One option.
They're ridiculous. There isn't a single serious idea here, not one. To illustrate, let me highlight 2 of the most prominent goals produced by the plan's authors. Goal number 1, the Green New Deal calls essentially for the elimination of airplanes. Now, this might seem merely ambitious for politicians who represent the densely populated northeastern United States. But how is it supposed to work for our fellow citizens who don't live somewhere between Washington, D.C. and Boston? In a future without air travel, how are we supposed to get around the vast expanses of, say, Alaska during the winter? Well, I'll tell you how. Tauntauns, Mr. President.
Star Wars.
This is a beloved species of reptomammals, native to the ice planet of Hoth. Now, while perhaps not as efficient in some ways as airplanes or as snowmobiles, these hairy bipedal species of space lizards offer their own unique benefits. Not only are tauntauns carbon neutral, but according to a report a long time ago and issued far, far away, they may even be fully recyclable and usable for their warmth, especially on a cold night.
How about getting from the West Coast to Hawaii?
What about Hawaii? Isolated 2,000 miles out into the Pacific Ocean. Under the Green New Deal's effective airplane prohibition, how are people there supposed to get to and from the mainland? And how are they supposed to maintain that significant portion of their economy that's based on tourism? At that distance, swimming would, of course, be out of the question. And jet skis are notorious gas guzzlers. No, all residents of Hawaii would be left with is this. This is a picture of Aquaman.
Oh, that's...
A superhero from the undersea kingdom of Atlantis.
Sure.
And, but notably here, a founding member of the Super Friends. I draw your attention, Mr. President, to the 20-foot impressive seahorse he's riding. Under the Green New Deal, this is probably Hawaii's best bet.
Isn't it great? The future as envisioned by AOC, tauntauns and giant seahorses for the means of travel. This could be a lot of fun.
It is gonna be
I'm
fun.
rethinking it.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to a young man at the University of Illinois suing the Illini over a violation of his First Amendment rights, he alleges. That's at 8:08.
And who is the number one enemy in Chicago, Smollett or Kim Foxx? It's going to be a warm one today, 60 degrees, 8 o'clock now, and time for Fox News.
The Attorney General will not meet the House Democrats' deadline. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries said they want the full Mueller report
no later than Tuesday, April 2nd.
Now, the president claims the no Russia collusion conclusion exonerates him. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Congressional Democrats say they want access to the full Mueller report to determine some key questions that arose from Attorney General Bill Barr's summary, particularly around the finding on obstruction of justice. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham says the president has no problem with its release.
He decided that the White House is okay with releasing it without looking at it.
A Justice Department official tells Fox News a version of Robert Mueller's report will be available for Congress and the public within weeks. The DOJ must redact grand jury testimony, which by law cannot be released. Dave?
John, later today, the FAA's administrator will testify at a Senate hearing after Boeing 737 MAX jets were grounded following 2 deadly crashes overseas.
Congress is going to investigate if their own passage of a law contributed to the problem. In 2012, they expanded the FAA's aircraft certification process, allowing the FAA to basically use more people from companies like Boeing to certify that their own planes and parts are safe.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Now, yesterday, a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX plane with no passengers on board had to make an emergency landing in Orlando because of engine trouble. Still a lot of questions in Chicago.
Do I think justice was served? No.
Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson, after the charges were dropped against Jussie Smollett, who insists he did not stage the hate crime attack he claims he was the victim of.
I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of.
Sources tell Fox 32 that the case and the evidence against Smollett was just simply unraveling. Smollett forfeited $10,000 in bond money while serving 16 hours of community service.
That's Tia Ewing. This is Fox.
Good morning. Partly sunny skies, and it's 34 degrees in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560 The Answer, WIND Chicago. I'm Perry Williams. Chicago officials are upset after prosecutors dropped all charges against actor Jussie Smollett. Mayor Emanuel called the decision a whitewash of justice and suggested the actor was given special treatment because of his celebrity. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson said justice was not served, and he believes the city is owed an apology. Smollett was charged following allegations he staged a racial and homophobic attack in the city in January. Meanwhile, Smollett says he will be forever grateful for his friends and family who stood by him.
This has been an incredibly difficult time, honestly one of the worst of my entire life. But I am a man of faith, and I'm a man that has knowledge of my history, and I would not bring my family, our lives, or the movement through a fire like this.
Speaking to reporters after all charges against him were dropped, the Empire actor said he has been truthful and consistent on everything from day one. In other news, an 8-year-old boy is dead and his grandfather's hurt following a hit-and-run crash in west suburban Aurora. Police say a driver took off after running into Isaiah Lopez and his grandfather Monday night near Lake and Plum Streets. One man was taken into custody after the driver's suspected vehicle was found about a block away. Authorities are searching for another person in the car who ran off. In sports news, Darcy Kemper stopped all 31 shots he faced as the Coyotes defeated the Blackhawks 1-0 in Glendale. Hawk forward Dylan Sakura says they gave it their best.
Yeah, I think you got to give our team credit. I think we're pretty resilient. I don't think any time this year, really, even when we're kind of down and out, we've always been trying to fight back. And, even with down a guy there, try to get a couple chances there and see what happens.
Corey Crawford allowed 1 goal on 29 shots for the Hawks, who have lost 4 of its last 5. The Blackhawks remain 5 points behind the Avalanche. Time now for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, here's Jenny Cosola.
From the Fox Business Network, there's a major merger of healthcare providers. Centene is buying WellCare health plans. The companies together will have about 22 million members nationwide. Centene is the largest provider of Medicaid managed care. WellCare purchased Medicare drug plans from Aetna, which sold the business when it merged with CVS Health. Southwest Airlines is lowering its expectations for this quarter and says it sees thousands of cancellations from mid-February through the end of this month. Southwest grounded its fleet of 737 MAX planes. Weather and labor issues are impacting other flights. Volkswagen will be using Amazon Web Services to make its plants more efficient. VW will connect its plants and suppliers using a platform known as the Volkswagen Industrial Cloud. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
AM 560 News Time is 8:05. Where are the cars this morning? We'll have an answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
Now, these are probably the best supplements I've ever had. I've cut out all the other stuff I'm taking and stuff like that. I went completely off the blood pressure meds almost immediately. So it's definitely, you can see a huge difference.
I fell from my chair and I crushed my heel. I feel that has gotten better since I've been taking Balance of Nature.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by using discount code CHICAGO. The price of fruits and vegetables is going up. Call now to see how you can lock in your price of fruits and vegetables for an entire year and get free shipping on every order. Call 800-246-8751. That's 800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Not sure where to go for wealth management advice and direction? It can be tough to find the right financial planner. Whether you're close to retirement or a millennial, you need to think about your financial future now. Sam Macaluso and Associates are ready to help you with your tax strategies, wealth management, and retirement planning. From college planning as well as business succession plans and tax strategies that deal with the new Tax Act, you'll get reliable and individualized service to address your challenges. As an accounting firm, Sam and his team's main goal is to help you preserve the wealth you've already built with efficient solutions to your accounting and financial planning. From tax preparation to planning and setting up accounts for retirement, the team will always take you through the entire process and help you make well-informed decisions. Schedule an appointment today with Sam Macaluso and Associates in Countryside to prepare for the April tax deadlines. Go to sammacalusoandassociates.com. That's sammacalusoandassociates.com. Don't wait. Start planning today.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Patriot Software provides cloud-based accounting software that is super easy for business owners and powerful enough for accountants. With Patriot's accounting software, business owners can easily invoice customers, receive payments, pay bills, and track the money in and out of their company without needing a college degree in accounting. And with Patriot Software's patent-pending cash-to-accrual toggle switch, the business's accountant can log in, view the books, and make complex entries to ensure the business has accurate financial statements. Easy but powerful Everybody wins. Go to patriotsoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With patriotsoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
At 8:06 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
On the eastbound Reagan Tollway this morning, traffic is stop and go from 83 to Roosevelt. Northbound Veterans Memorial is congested, approaching the Reagan Tollway. Northbound Tri-State delays, 83rd Street Toll to LaGrange Road, Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Southbound it's tight, Irving Park to the Bensonville Bridge. The Edens is fine. Kennedy, 36 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 26 from Montrose, 22 on the Express. The Eisenhower is a 54-minute drive, 390 to downtown. 38 from Manhunt. Stevenson, 56 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 20 minutes, side east to the merge. It's traffic. I'm Jim Telemonte at AM 560 The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
A bit of sun for this morning, then increasing cloudiness and breezy today, high 58. Cloudy, breezy, mild, a couple of brief showers tonight, low 46. Cloudy with a brief shower or two for tomorrow, and a high at 59. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 8:30. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
They got the beat, the campus beat, the campus beat. Yeah, the campus beat.
Dan and Amy, we've got a special edition of Campus Beat we'll get to in a moment, but I just want to play what you heard at the top of the hour on our newscast because we need to correct the record right away. I mean, people get something wrong, we get something wrong, we try and correct the record right away, so we need to do this here. Fox News reporting at the top of the hour national, relying on local Fox News reporter Tia Ewing in its characterization of the Jussie Smollett case. This is what Tia Ewing reported that you just heard.
Sources tell Fox 32 that the case and the evidence against Smollett was just simply unraveling. Smollett forfeited $10,000 in bond money while serving 16 hours of community service.
Not true. Eddie Johnson, superintendent, yesterday came out very strongly and said, the evidence that we have, that you're just seeing a portion of it. We have so much more evidence that convicts him of this, that would convict him if he'd gone to court of this crime.
And here's what the First Assistant State's Attorney Joseph Magatz said, who was actually in charge of the case. Here's what he said about the case.
There was nothing new that came up. We stand behind the investigation that CPD did. We stand behind our decision to approve charges and to indict him. The investigation itself that was done by CPD was outstanding. And there was nothing new, there was nothing that we learned that we didn't already know that factored into this disposition in the case.
So I'm sure Tia Ewing is a fine reporter, but I mean, you just need to correct the record because what she reported is just not the case. And you heard it right from the state's attorney, the lead attorney on the case. Okay. All right, we'll return to that at the bottom of the hour, but now we want to get back to this story out of our very own University of Illinois. We talked about this story when it occurred, and it's consistent with the story we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, the Berkeley story that President Trump highlighted at CPAC when he brought Hayden Williams on stage and let him address the CPAC crowd that was there to see President Trump. You'll remember this is the case where Hayden Williams is on the campus of Berkeley, manning a table, recruiting students to the conservative group there. And some guy gets up in his face and uses all kinds of profanity and punches him a couple of times in the face.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Hayden Williams doesn't fight back. The guy was later identified as a former Berkeley University employee, too.
Okay, here we go.
In addition to that, he's been charged. But this case of Blair Nelson at the University of Illinois is similar. And so he writes at campusreform.org about the suit that he has filed against the University of Illinois for violating his First Amendment rights in connection with an incident in which he alleges to have been victimized. And so we thought we'd bring him on to get a little bit of local flavor from the University of Illinois, who's funded in large measure by your tax dollars and most of our listening audience here in Chicagoland. Blair Nelson joins us now. Blair, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing me on.
So tell us what happened and how the university responded.
All right. So originally how this happened is me and one of my friends, Joel Valdez, who was featured on stage with Trump during the executive order signing. We went to a anti-Trump rally sometime in November 2017. And there was a guy there by the name of Tariq Khan. He was a university instructor. He taught a class. He was a PhD student. He was filming us. He was yelling stuff at us, and then he went on with a megaphone and started speaking. He started immediately yelling profanities at us, and Joel started yelling them back. And then Joel said to him, "Don't you have some kids to look after, you 40-year-old man?" Because he was 39, and we assumed he had something better to do than be at a protest at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So he thought we were threatening his kids, so he charged us. And he started pushing us around. He tried to knock my phone out of my hand, and then he grabbed Joel's phone. He ripped it out of his hands, and he started walking away with it. So we decided to follow him because we thought he was stealing his phone. And about 3 minutes later, he threw his phone on the ground and broke it. So then a couple of weeks later, we got some letters from the university stating, or some emails, I should say, stating that we have a no contact order on Tariq and that we can't contact with him, and that if we do, then we're likely to be expelled and this other stuff. So originally I thought, you know what, that's fine. I've never spoken to this guy in my life. I didn't know who he was until that event. So I thought nothing of it. And then I went to a protest at the State Farm Center. I don't know if you're familiar, but a year ago, the Honor the Chief Society did the Paint the Hall Chief event where they had everybody wear chief gear. So last year they protested it. So I went there and I filmed it. And then a few days later, I got an email stating that I violated the order and that I'm going to be expelled if I'm found that I did violate the order. So I thought to myself, why? Because the dean in my first meeting originally told me that it didn't apply in public spaces. So I went to the meeting, and he told me that, yeah, it didn't apply to public spaces, but I couldn't film him. So I thought to myself, why? Why can't I film him if you said I couldn't in public spaces? I also didn't film him as well. So he started this rabbit trail of me being in the area, and then he started to claim that I was filming him, harassing his children, and all this other stuff, which was completely false. So throughout this whole thing, we felt that whenever the university put on us these no contact orders, we felt that this was used to silence us and punish us. So then we filed suit about almost a year ago.
And what's the latest now with the lawsuit?
So the latest is the university, so they tried to dismiss it, and a bunch of stuff happened. It didn't get dismissed. The judge rejected it, although certain parties did get dismissed. So two of the plaintiffs, Joel and Drew, they were dismissed because they don't attend the university anymore, and then the board of trustees were dismissed. Otherwise, the dismissal was rejected, so it's ongoing from there.
And what's been the interaction with not necessarily Tariq Khan, but the administration since the filing of the suit? Have they backed off?
I believe so, but at the same time, I have not attended any protests since the suit has been filed out of fear of retaliation.
Really? Well, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I haven't attended any protests.
I mean, what else could they do to you?
So they told my friend Andrew Minnick, who wrote the article for Campus Reform, that if he wanted the situation to improve, he should stop writing about Tariq.
Stop writing about him. Yeah.
So then once again, they're impeding your First Amendment rights.
Well, then that's the suit.
Absolutely. These no contact orders, any student can get it on anybody for any reason, and there's zero opportunity for the person filing a no contact order to dispute it. and it's on your record until you graduate. There's zero possibility of me getting it removed unless through this lawsuit.
You're a U of I student. You're a U of I undergrad, right?
Yeah, I'm a junior.
And so tell us a little bit. I mean, I think people would be interested to know. I would pay the second highest in-state tuition in the Big Ten behind only Penn State. And I don't know, U of I gets about $500 million a year from Illinois state taxpayers to underwrite that high tuition. What's the campus culture like?
For conservatives, it's very bad. I would say it's worse than UC Berkeley, in my opinion. Wow. It gets zero press coverage. It's very rarely picked up by Fox News or Breitbart or any major site like that. And in my opinion, it's worse than UC Berkeley. The students are absolutely hostile. That's one of the main reasons. The administrators are hostile as well, as they have a bunch of anti-free speech policies, such as free speech zones, like I said, that no contact order policy, and then they have standards that allow dorms to police what you have in your room and on your doors.
Well, that may be interesting. That'd be interesting to see how that works out in terms of federal grant dollars from certain agencies with Trump's new executive order.
Absolutely. Right now, the university is not complicit with the order, whatever it'll end up being, as I believe their federal tax dollars should be removed until these policies go away.
Well, how can you expose liberal bias at University of Illinois?
Can you repeat that?
Oh no, how can you personally expose the liberal bias at University of Illinois?
So what I do is I just report on what happens. Hosting speakers is a great way to show a double standard. I know when we brought Charlie Kirk a year ago, our university freezed our Turning Point account because we had used university logos in our Facebook and Twitter profile picture, which other clubs do, and they received no retaliation for it.
Have there been other instances of violence or near violent confrontations over politics on campus?
Yes. So I believe it was October of 2018, so about 6 months ago, the Atlanta Republicans brought an ICE agent to a meeting, and there were nearly 100 protesters who showed up, tried to disrupt it. They entered the building, they sat down, they refused to leave, and the police nearly arrested every single one of them. The ICE agent and the attendees had to be escorted out by police due to their safety.
Are you an Illinois native? Did you grow up here, high school here?
Yeah, I grew up in the Champaign area.
And so, so you were well-versed with U of I before you got there, but I wonder if, even being a local, if what you thought U of I was going to be and what it turned out to be are two different things.
Absolutely. So I went to Unity High School. It's a very good school. A lot of the teachers, they don't put bias into the class, or if they do, they're usually right-wing leaning. So I didn't really think of much. I didn't really go on campus at all until my senior year of high school, when I started browsing Facebook because I got admitted. I started looking up clubs, and I found a lot of Republicans, and they held an affirmative action bake sale where, they sold cookies. They had a symbolic prices based on how affirmative action works and how various races are penalized or they're rewarded based on their race. So I went to that, and that was my first experience of what the university was like, and it was a big culture shock for me, absolutely, because all the students around me, they were right-leaning or they were relatively moderate. But when I got to the University of Illinois, they were extremely hostile, and they were very left-wing. Almost all of them are.
And I assume that's the same for the administrators and faculty?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think I've ever had a professor who you would consider moderate or Republican.
I mean, it's not funny, but it's just it's a head shaker, which is why we do the Campus Beat segments and try to amplify stories like yours. He is Blair Nelson. He's, as you just heard, an Illini undergrad. He's also the Illinois campus correspondent for Campus Reform, campusreform.org, which is something you should read routinely, particularly you, Amy, so you don't send Peyton and Eli to places like U of I. Blair Nelson, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with your lawsuit and the rest of your studies at U of I.
All right, thank you for having me.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Law, liberty, justice. This is Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow.
I have a 16-year-old in my youth group that goes to public school. She has recently had a class project of taking a poem or a song and studying it out. And she tried this with 2 different songs, and they told her that both times that she couldn't use them because it was too religious, it talked too much about Jesus, and it was inappropriate for the class.
Yeah, Aaron, let me ask you this. This was a student-led event. In other words, this was where students were allowed to pick the song that they were going to perform or sing?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you something. There's a Department of Education guideline directly on point on this that talks about when it comes to these assignments that students are allowed to include religious topics or religious music, Christian music, as part of a discussion without censorship. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to get you in touch with our legal staff here at the American Center for Law and Justice, and we'll get you some help right away, okay?
Thank you.
Very good.
Visit us at aclj.org. That's aclj.org.
Hey, we just talked to Blair Nelson, and he's a member of Turning Point USA. And Turning Point USA's Midwest Regional Conference will be held this Friday and Saturday, and featuring Vice President Mike Pence. Again, you'll hear from Vice President Mike Pence, Charlie Kirk, Mike Lindell, the founder and creator of MyPillow, and many great conservative leaders. And right now, we are giving away 2 free tickets to this event. They're valued at $500 apiece. Call 312-642-5600 to get your free pair of tickets to the event. And if you don't win and you want to go to the event, simply go to tpusa.com, and good luck.
Folks, you've heard me talk about Northridge Prep before and how much I love their paper and pen approach in the classroom. No one-to-one iPads, Chromebooks, nothing. 0 distractions. Well, we talked to a current Northridge Prep mom about the many schools that jumped on this tech bandwagon, and she had this to say. I've heard from many teachers that no matter how many web filters and whatnot you put on it, the boys always figure it out and get around the filters. The boys snap photos, download games. It's just a huge distraction. I don't see the benefit of computers in class. Everyone jumped on that bandwagon. I think that schools with a lot of resources recognize them as something positive, but I applaud Northridge Prep for not jumping on the bandwagon and really recognizing what's best for the boys. It's not backwards or antiquated. It's just common sense, and I know a lot of families whose boys go to Northridge Prep. Look, it's real simple. You want your young man to grow up into a young gentleman and be an intellectual assassin, then you got to consider Northridge Prep. Learn more about their open house. Learn more about Northridge Prep at their open house on Sunday, April 7th. Seating is limited, so register online today. NorthridgePrep.org is the website. That's NorthridgePrep.org.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's good news. Due to the financial hardship many are facing in today's economy, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program will resolve your tax problem, end all collections, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. If you are facing wage garnishments, liens, bank levies, audits, or payroll taxes, it's not too late. Your circumstances may qualify you for this special program, protecting your savings and your assets. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's no need to worry anymore. Call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands. For this free information, call 800-813-1105. 800-813-1105. That's 800-813-1105.
Hey, it is March, and that means allergy season. And our friends at Balance of Nature have an incredible Madness in March discount that I'll tell you about in a few seconds. But first, Balance of Nature. Why aren't you taking it? Think of it this way. 10 servings of fruits and veggies in a single capsule. You don't have to waste money buying fruits and vegetables at the store that you know are just going to rot in your refrigerator. Come on, be honest with yourself. Get healthy, boost your immune system, just like I'm doing, and get Balance of Nature. Dr. Douglas Howard, oh yeah, he's the guy, creator of Balance of Nature, showed me the emails, played the voicemails from real people who are taking Balance of Nature and feeling better and living healthier lives. And that can be you too. And today only, when you go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code AMYJ6, all one word. That's AMY, the letter J, the number 6. And you will receive 16% off your first preferred order. It's the Sweet 16 special. Promo code AMYJ6, all one word, when you visit balanceofnature.com.
On April 5th, don't miss The Best of Enemies, starring Academy Award nominee Taraji P. Henson.
I play Ann Atwater, a civil rights activist who was able to approach hate with love.
And Academy Award winner Sam Rockwell.
All the better is you don't get in my way.
Well, I'm gonna get in your way.
If you change one heart, you can change the world.
I had a revival.
And then you ought to know, same God made you, made me.
The Best of Enemies, based on the untold true story. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters April 5th.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, some reaction to our interview with young man Blair Nelson at U of I, who's taken on the university and the assembled administrators and professorate and students and thugs, and good for him. Joe on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, I had an experience at U of I. I'm a recent graduate. I went to one of their nursing schools, and the professor, I had a similar experience where the culture there is just very left, and the professors would make comments during the class, especially regarding the Trump, administration and how, there's leadership in the office that's contradicting our values, and I always have this feeling of that all the professors there assume that everybody in the classroom has their political views, and therefore they can share them openly and discuss them as if we're all on the same page, and that was very disturbing for me as someone with more conservative values.
Yeah. Thanks for your call, Joe, and sharing that. Appreciate it. I mean, that's the thing. You just see this repeat itself over and over and again. Intellectual debate, places of intellectual diversity, free marketplace of ideas, robust dialogue and debate, and critical thinking skills, and making the arguments. None of that. Enforced orthodoxy of opinion, and as the great Justice Robert Jackson noted, enforced orthodoxy of opinion achieves only the unanimity of the graveyard. Something that, I guess we'll continue to fight. At least some of us will, and some young men like Blair Nelson and this Joe from the north side who called on campuses like U of I.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, let's take down Jussie Smollett.
All right. One Woman's Crusade, Amy Jacobson at 8:38.
But first, let's head into the newsroom. Perry Williams in for Mike Scott. Hi, Perry.
Good morning, Amy. Partly sunny skies. It's 34 degrees in Chicago at 8:30 on AM 560, The Answer. An Illinois lawmaker is planning to file legislation that would ban any production that employs actor Jussie Smollett from receiving a state film credit. State Representative Michael McAuliffe made the pledge hours after Cook County prosecutors dropped charges yesterday against Smollett, who had been accused of staging a hate crime attack against himself in Chicago in January. The Republican says he's filing the bill because of the number of hours police put in investigating the Smollett case. McAuliffe plans to file the legislation this week. In other news, a Chicago man charged with murdering a Wisconsin man at Harrah's Casino Hotel in Joliet over the weekend is being held on $5 million bail. Robert Watson appeared in Will County Court yesterday via video. Prosecutors say the defendant robbed Emmanuel Bergrino Sunday night before stabbing him 26 times as he returned to his fifth-floor hotel room. Watson was arrested Monday at the Joliet Public Library. A Chicago family is accusing Chicago police of raiding the wrong home during a 4-year-old's birthday party last month. The boy's mother says her children have been devastated by the raid.
To worry about her or her brother getting shot by someone that's supposed to protect and serve them, it's terrifying.
The civil rights lawsuit filed yesterday claims officers pointed guns at the boy and his family and friends while executing a search warrant on the south side. The suit says police were looking for a suspect who hadn't lived in the home for 5 years. No one was arrested or charged. In sports news, the Cubs are sticking with starter Kyle Hendricks. The club signed the right-hander to a 4-year contract extension worth $55.5 million. Since 2014, Hendricks has gone 52-33 with a 3.07 ERA and 133 appearances with the North Siders. This news report is sponsored by Accountemps. payroll, bookkeeping, month end? Are you feeling short-staffed? Accountemps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call them today or visit accountemps.com. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. AM 560 news time is 8:33. How bad is traffic? We'll have the answer in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher likes to watch the Democrats scramble.
Isn't it fascinating to watch the Democrats flailing? They are literally flailing away right now. Let's lower the voting age to 16. Let's get rid of the Electoral College. Third trimester abortions just A-OK with me, says Beto O'Rourke. I mean, it's one thing after another.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of your number one home mortgage company, Townstone Financial. Are you a veteran looking to buy a house or refinance? Look no further than Townstone.com. We have the answers to your VA questions and promise to get your home purchase or refinance done quickly and without headaches. Remember, VA purchases can be done with no down payment as well as low closing costs. So give us a call now at 312-896-2110 to find out why thousands of veterans have chosen Townstone since 2002. Have a family member who wants to remain in their house until their last days? Is a reverse mortgage the best product to make that happen? And what about reverse mortgage costs? Townstone has the experts to walk you through the entire reverse mortgage process to determine if it's the best product for you and your family. Remember, I guarantee nobody's going to beat Townstone's interest rates and low closing costs, and I own the company. So give us a call now at 312-896-2110 or go to Townstone.com. Nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Don't let someone else make money off of your money. Take control of your income and your future. Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and I'm talking about Online Trading Academy. They're the leader in trading and investing education. With courses offered throughout Chicagoland, including East Peoria, Valparaiso, Lombard, you can learn about ways to generate income and protect your retirement. I attended a class at Online Trading Academy and learned so much. And you too can jump into a free class. Just call 844-778-7132. That's 844-778-7132. And if you call right now, they will send you home with their Professionals Insider Kit. It's loaded with exclusive investing courses and some of their best lessons from the pros. Limited opportunity and seats go quickly. Call 844-778-7132. That's 844-778-7132. Or visit them online at otaclass.com.
At 8:35 from the AM 560 Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
West side, the intersection of Roosevelt and Kedzie remains closed after a major wreck. The Eden's clear right now. The spur is a little tight eastbound, the Toll Plaza to Waukegan Road. Inbound Kennedy, stop and go Irving Park to Washington. 45 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 35 from Montrose, 29 on the Express. The Eisenhower's 48 minutes, 390 to downtown. It's 32 from Manheim. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to the drive. The Ryan, 36 minutes, 95 to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays are from the Stevenson to 31st and North Avenue to the Grand Avenue curve. Eastbound Reagan tollway from the Tri-State to Roosevelt. Southbound Veterans Memorial, roadwork delay from Fountain Toll to I-55. Traffic, I'm Jim Telemonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
More Chicago's Morning Answer comes your way next. Now, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Steve Williams.
Some sun to start, then increasing cloudiness. Breezy today, high 58. Cloudy, breezy, mild, a brief shower tonight, low 46. Cloudy tomorrow, a brief shower or two, and a high tomorrow at 59. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Your next news update is at 9 o'clock. Continuous coverage of news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Listen to podcasts of Joe Walsh and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy, We've been...
What's your name?
Yeah.
Wait, who are you?
The Smollett
It is
thing has
hot
me
here.
spinning. We've got team coverage. We've had it all morning. We're awaiting the announcement of the charges against R. Kelly being dropped by the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. Him
Why not?
doing community service, maybe at like a CPS grade school.
Yeah. Can hang out with the young ladies.
We haven't heard that yet, but we'll report it as soon as whatever flunky Kim Foxx decides to trot out to the media is prepared to make a statement to that effect. But we did get Joseph Magatz, who is the first assistant state's attorney, who took over the Smollett case when Kim Foxx recused herself because of her conversations with Michelle Obama's former chief of staff, who was a conduit for a conversation with Smollett's family. And the request was made for Kim Foxx to make the request of Eddie Johnson to remove the case to the FBI, which didn't happen, even though Kim Foxx related back to the Michelle Obama chief of staff, a lawyer named Tina Chen, that would happen. So she recuses herself. He's indicted, 16 felony counts. And then yesterday, of course, we find out that forfeiting bond of $10,000 and doing, it's been different numbers have been reported, 16 hours or 20 hours of community service at Operation Push.
Yeah, I heard it was 20 hours. It was over the weekend, and he was dealing with at-risk use.
Like most of the Jackson family. And then so then you walk away from it. Those 16 felonies go away. The record is sealed, and everybody gets on their merry way and enjoys a new, exciting season of Empire featuring Jussie Smollett, and it's all wrapped up with a little bow on it.
Yeah, like rainbows and unicorns. No, Jussie Smollett got exactly what he wanted. Publicity. People know his name now. Oh, we know him. I didn't know him before, and now he's a household name, which is sad and sick. But he's sticking by his story. He's just a pathological liar.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of.
He played the mother card and then played the God card later on, too. I don't know if you heard it. His faith in God helped him through the worst time in his life. Now he's a victim. He should be held as a hero.
Well, that's good enough for Brian Stelter, and so it's good enough for me. Brian Stelter,
oh gosh,
the most buffoonish animatronic cable TV host on CNN, and that's saying something on a network that features Don Lemon.
Yeah, and he's the media correspondent.
Brian Stelter tweeting about this yesterday.
Oh, God. Do I really want to hear this?
Were you there that night? Smollett's camp says he was the victim of a hate crime. The police dispute that. There isn't video of the alleged attack. Thus, we may never know what really happened.
Well, we're never going to know what really happened because the judge in this case sealed the court records. So you can't go down to the courthouse and get the information that the 12 detectives gathered.
That's just that. Excuse me. According to Brian Stelter, that's just a he said situation.
Well, sir, what about Abel and Ola, the Nigerian brothers who were paid to do this hoax?
Do you agree? Without video evidence, we can never know what really happened. And in point of fact, no one should, per Brian Stelter's legal standard, no one should ever be charged with a crime, much less convicted, unless there's video evidence, Robert Kraft style, of them in the act. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. This is an example of the gymnastics the left must do in furtherance of identity politics. There isn't video of the alleged attack, thus we may never know what happened. I mean, honestly, the police say one thing and he says another. Well, no, it's not just the police, and it's not just the evidence. It's also the prosecutor in the case, Joseph Magatz, who did not walk away from the strength of the case one iota. Also adding, despite how this has been covered in certain quarters, there is no exoneration here. You may feel like Smollett has been exonerated, and I understand why, but if you're innocent, as you just heard Smollett say, and you've been innocent from day one, then an innocent man doesn't forfeit $10,000 and doesn't commit to community service. That may be alternative disposition of the case, but it is effectively a plea deal. And that's what Magatz made clear, about the only thing he made clear in his extended interviews with the Chicago media yesterday, is that there is no exoneration. There was no problem with the evidence. There was no problem with the strength of the case. We made this decision effectively knowing we could have convicted him. That's what he said.
And basically, they didn't want to tie up the court system. What I heard, that he's nonviolent, he has no felonies, he has nothing on his record so far. So
tie up
is what they
tie
would
up
do.
the court system in Cook County. That's a scream. I mean, it really is. You're
told the
right.
Sun-Times.
That's what he said. He said it's in part a resource decision because we need to focus in on violent offenders. That's where our laser-like focus is on. Oh, really? Well, then, I mean, and unfortunately, we didn't get pushback from the Chicago press corps because, these TV network people don't, surface skimmers, don't read, don't think about what the propaganda is they're going to receive so they can ask the follow-up like, oh, well, what about the person who is alleged to have murdered police officer John Rivera over the weekend in River North, who was pled out to a nonviolent offense on an armed home invasion charge and given probation? Had the resources of the office gone to prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law, then he would have been behind bars or awaiting trial and not out at a nightclub at 3:30 where he could open fire on John Rivera because he was the first Hispanic-looking guy he came upon, allegedly. How about that? I mean, do we need to go down chapter and verse the prosecutions or lack thereof of violent criminals in this city? Frankly, that predates Kim Foxx, but certainly has spiked since she's become the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. And all you have to do is ask any cop about that, or just read the adjudication of the cases. I mean, come on.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment.
Chuck and Delavan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, a couple different things. He's going to end up suing Fox for firing him, so he gets back to where he goes to work.
He didn't get fired. He didn't get fired.
No one got fired.
Jussie Smollett never got fired.
I thought they wrote him out of the.
No, they just wrote him out of the last 2 episodes. There's a whole other season that's coming back.
He's coming back to life.
And they're standing behind him.
And a little preview of the forthcoming season of Empire, Chuck. I have it on good authority. The introduction of Kim Foxx as Jussie Smollett's love interest. Stay tuned for that.
I got to tell you something. Those 2 brothers, just like they took Dillinger and they had the lady in red, they deported her out of the country. They should deport them 2 guys out.
They're American.
And my heart goes out. My heart goes out to that. Your police, the superintendent of police. He should bury that poor soul this week, and then what he should do is resign and let them try to figure it out, because this whole thing has just not been fair. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call,
and
Chuck.
again, Eddie Johnson and Mayor Emanuel were not apprised to what was happening. They found out while watching the media, while listening to the radio. That's when they found out, what is going on here?
Which is an odd approach for the Cook County State's Attorney's Office to take, knowing they have to have a close working relationship, particularly with the Chicago police, and knowing what the media firestorm would be once this decision became public. So the Magotts, kind of trotting him out like a hostage to recite these talking points. I mean, the guy was a mess on ABC7, the 20-minute interview I watched. He was very nervous and jumpy. Probably doesn't do this a lot. I get it. And he's sort of has a very difficult case to make to the public as to the bases for this decision, which is also not being received well. Ralph and Rantoul.
Good morning. Yeah, all the way from the Milli Vanilli criminals hired by Smollett. Is it possible
Girl, it's true.
to nominate Eddie Johnson and Rahm for some sort of daytime Emmy award for the drama that is Chicago politics? Because they were either genuinely surprised and outraged, or it was fantastic acting.
No, I thought it was genuine.
I don't know which to believe, because I'm such a skeptic, being a consumer of all this nonsense all these years. I just don't know. I'd like to believe that they were really outraged, but I don't believe it.
Well, Rahm Emanuel stopped short of throwing Kim Foxx under a bus by saying you have to ask the office why they decided to drop these charges. You have to ask the office. Ask the office.
Well, although he did, have a number of rhetorical flourishes as only Rahm can.
This is a whitewash of justice. As I remember correctly, somebody wanted to have that evidence in the day, as the superintendent said, their day in court, so all the evidence can be made public. Because of the judge's decision, none of that evidence will ever be made public. It is not on the level from beginning to end, and there needs to be a level of accountability throughout the system. And this sends an unambiguous message that there is no accountability, and that is wrong.
Nobody pantomimes real emotion like Geppetto's little creation, Tiny Dancer. Susan.
No, oh, God. Well, all of us cast members are saying we're so glad that who's the lead in Empire?
Terrence Howard.
Yeah, and the female.
Taraji Henson.
Yeah, they just released a statement saying, we feel he's been set free. The facts of the case are out. I mean, are you kidding me?
Well, he has been set free, and the facts of the case are out.
The fact that we can't see it.
Well,
we can't see the evidence from the 12 detectives who worked their butts off on this case for nothing, for no reason at all.
Susan on the South Side.
Yeah, hi, guys. I work at the courthouse. I don't really want to say which office for reasons, but I can tell you that people are outraged at the state's attorney's office at this decision. And I know that part of the factor that went into this decision was the fact that the office believed that Jussie had been punished enough with him losing his spot on the show and the ratings going down. And they didn't believe that he should be punished more by, actually having some kind of conviction on his record or the actual facts coming out in public. I also know that there is some concern with what had gone on prior with Kim Foxx and the chief of staff of Michelle Obama, that some of that coming out if this would ever see the light of day at trial.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Susan. Appreciate that. And but there's two things I love what she said. One is that your ratings, the impact on your ratings can be a mitigating circumstance in a prosecution. Are you kidding me?
Well, no, because they love that Empire films here in Chicago, that the cast lists here generate jobs and, please.
I mean, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about the celebrity-addled culture here, and also the celebrity chaser that Kim Foxx is, his ratings suffered. Hasn't this man suffered enough? Empire's ratings are down.
I will never, ever watch that program.
Oh, that is glorious. The other thing Susan said, though, I think is spot on. I think this really gets to the heart of it. And I've said this from the beginning, yesterday and then on the show earlier. Look, and this is what Maggot should have, he can't really say, but the bottom line is, because of Kim Foxx's recklessness, because she's incompetent, she doesn't belong in that position.
Absolutely not.
Because she did that, and because she's all about sort of the political celebrity chamber, she had a conversation she shouldn't have had. It compromised her. It forced her to recuse herself. And Jussie Smollett's got high-powered, high-priced attorneys who know how to get to the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter is, okay, we'll go to trial, and we're going to put Kim Foxx on the stand. And that is something that would be a deal breaker for the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. That is the last thing that she wants or they could stand. You want to talk about delegitimizing the office more, as remarkable a statement as that is, put Kim Foxx on the stand and have her be cross-examined by a couple of these sharks. That's the real problem, and I think Susan's getting to it. So it makes it even more comical to hear the question asked of McGatz, the flack for Fox on this catastrophe. What do you say to people who've lost faith in the system? Oh, he's got an answer for you in case, your confidence in Cook County justice has been
tainted,
whittled away at all.
We are transparent. We consider all the facts and circumstances in the case before we make a decision, and we try to be completely transparent as to what we do and why we do it.
Yeah, but the case is sealed, so don't bother.
Well,
Nothing to see here, folks.
Transparency has its limits. That's good enough for me. I don't know about you. Mike in Geneva, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You started off the segment by saying, well, how can you prove there was ever a crime without video evidence? That just smells to me like the Kavanaugh hearings. All women must be believed. So it doesn't surprise me that someone tries to go there.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of the same. I'm just grateful at this point there's no lawsuit against Cook County for defamation of character of Jussie Smollett. I'm waiting for that.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Well, again,
where can we get our reputation back as a city? And now this, too.
Well, that's gone.
Yeah,
I mean, that's gone on so many levels. You can't put that all at Smollett's door or even Kim Fox's. Chris in Morgan Park.
Yeah, I was wondering if they've released the judge's name. He had explained as to why he sealed this and not allowing, made a statement as to why we don't get to hear as to why why he sealed it right away.
Yeah, the judge's name has been released, but it's he has not given any statement.
Stephen Watkins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Circuit Judge Stephen. And again, I mean, people are, even Charles Ramsey, who used to work here, Deputy First Superintendent, said there had to have been a deal between the judge and prosecutors because he did his community service over the weekend and on Monday, and then boom.
Well, there was a deal.
Yeah.
But in terms of sealing it, that's a good question. And here's what McGatz said about the seal.
I called an alternative disposition in that he agreed to do community service. He agreed to forfeit his bail to the remainder of his bond to the city of Chicago. And in return for him doing those things, we agreed to dismiss the indictment.
Why is it under seal?
Pursuant to the statute, certain offenses, when they are classes of felonies and crimes, when they are dismissed, the statute allows for them to be sealed.
Allows, and then when asked again, Maggot said this.
It is the law. I mean, to sit here and say that we would be in a position to object to something that the law allows or the law mandates would be disingenuous. So, I mean, it's what the law provides.
You know what's disingenuous is to say allows and mandates in the same sentence like they're synonyms. They're not. Judicial discretion. And if it's judicial discretion, that means the state's attorney's office has an opportunity to object and make the case why the judge should not decide to allow the sealing of the records. And McGatz was very hazy on who brought the move to seal the records. I assume it was the defense. And it sounds like, without admitting it, the defense brought it and the Cook County State's Attorney didn't object, so the judge sealed it. And so that's another question for the Cook County State's Attorney that we don't have a satisfactory answer to at this juncture. Former Chicago police officer Paul Hubel, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy.
Morning.
I want to talk about the fake recusal of our state's attorney, where she normally a recusal means that the case leaves the office and goes to a special prosecutor, like in the Van Dyke case. Keeping it in the office is fake, is just as fake as the hate crime that Smollett dreamed up. And it was so she could keep control of the case, so she could make sure there was a dismissal, and that's obstruction of justice. This woman really should have her state bar license revoked, and people should contact the state bar and complain that she had a conflict of interest and she obstructed justice.
Thanks for the call, Paul. Appreciate it. Here's the good news.
Oh, there is good news here.
The good news is we still have an opportunity with the law enforcement cavalry in Chicago and Cook County, U.S. Postal Inspection Service.
There's always hope, Dan.
The postal inspectors can get Smollett. The feds can do what the local authorities could not do, would not do.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health.
To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code CHICAGO.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. It happens every day. You can recover. Discover hope and help.
Never give up on yourself.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Building owners and managers. Now is the perfect time of year to take the necessary steps to preserve the integrity of your new or existing roof system with a roof maintenance plan from Waukegan Roofing. Since 1914, Waukegan Roofing has been installing and maintaining commercial roofs you can rely on all over Chicagoland. Without regularly scheduled maintenance, your roof system will begin to break down, costing you money sooner than you think. With our roof maintenance plan, your dedicated service technician covers all areas of your roof using our multi-point inspection program, which features early detection, preventative maintenance, repairs, and more.